Here we are, Tabletop Commanders Paint and Chat. Today is unusual. It's supposed to be a paint and play. Little term I coined this morning after crawling out of bed. But yeah, it is a paint and chat session today. Welcome to join in. We're all getting together and going to have some hobby chat and paint up some figures at least. As far as the game is concerned, for Blucher, if you've been following along, if my friend doesn't show up today to play, we'll probably do it tomorrow or sometime later in the week, and we'll put a conclusion on that battle. It's getting pretty exciting, folks. But in the meantime, we've got a paint and chat session. We've got Dale here, we got Ian, and we got Gavin. Jumped in early. What are you doing, Gavin?
Well, Curtis, drum roll, please. I'm doing the.
Tell me that I can get one.
I'm doing the AB 15/18mm Napoleonics. I've got some Highlanders, which anybody who watches the painting chats, and now these have been going on for far too long. But finally finishing those, they're being based. On the side, I've been painting up British howitzer crew from the same period, and that's for me. And they've come along like I wish I was just painting howitzer crews because they've really flown.
Yeah.
So doing those, and I've got I think about 40 modern Russian infantry from the war in Chechnya in 15mm, which I'm 2/3 of the way through. So I seem to be swinging back to being productive at last.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You are a big fan of that modern warfare, Chechnya.
Oh, definitely. Russian Federation. Hail President Putin.
That's cool. How about you, Ian? What are you up to?
I'm still working on my War of the Roses projects. I've got to point this down so you can see. I'm just trying to send a link to somebody who caught me there off guard. So these are spearmen. There's 12 in the blue and white colours, and there's 6 who are going to be part of another unit, which is going to be independent. They're not going to wear any unit colours. They'll just be a mixture, and I can use them as mercenaries or additions to the other retinue. So that's what I've got on the table today.
Yeah, don't you have a game you got set up that you're working on?
Yeah, game set up. Posted the link on Tabletop Commanders blogspot and our blog channel, asking people for their ideas on what the tactics should be. Working as a solo commander and commanding both sides, the troops are all laid out, the terrain's all laid out, and I've set you a problem. If you were inside the heads of each commander, what would your plan be? What would you try and do? So anybody who's interested in looking at that, you're welcome to have a look at it and see if you can come up with a plan of action for the first opening few moves. See what you can come up with. See if it's anything like what I was planning to do.
Interesting. I'll have to take a look myself. I saw the heading. I saw the post in the webpage, Facebook, but I didn't read it yet. I'm going to have a look and see if I can give you some of my input. Should be interesting. That's awesome. All right. We also got Dale here. He's got his mic muted. He's up to no good again. Sure, he's painting up his Raven Wing. He's been working on them for months, I think. He's got a big battle planned with his brother and his friends there, and his new game room he just put together. So it's pretty exciting. All right, so there we go, folks. Here's our Tabletop Commanders Paint and Chat. If you pop in, go to the event page, and there's a link there. You can join the conversation. Also on Facebook, there's a link there now. Just click it, and you're good. Tabletop Commanders. And me, I'm not sure what I'm doing today. I planned on finishing this battle, but I might have to dig into my figures here. Among other things.
It'd be interesting to see what you do now. You've done all your 10 mils. I mean, we've all been sticking through the agony of 10,000 Russians, French, goodness knows what else. It'd be interesting to see what you do next.
Well, I love it, and playing Blucher at the moment it's got me motivated to paint up some more Russians, and basically more Russians. I definitely need more cavalry, Cossacks, light cavalry for my Russians. Uh, I'm actually motivated to paint some more Napoleonics. Future projects this year, I'm not sure yet. I'm still debating my American War of Independence, 20 millimeter World War II. I got a few things on the agenda that I'm considering. We'll see. I got time. When I'm laying there in bed, not doing anything, I can think on these
That's
things.
what you see on everybody's blogs at the moment, because it's the new year. Everybody says, "Oh, you know, the projects they're going to have for the up and coming year."
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, myself, I just want to keep adding to my Peninsular War British, and well, there will be French at some stage later on in the year or mid-year. I want to do British, French, Portuguese, maybe some Spanish for the Peninsula. These Russians will probably. I've got no armour for them yet, but I've got probably another squad of Russians to buy and a couple of support weapons, and and another squad of MVD, which are like Russian internal troops. So I've a squad of them as well. Add a few tanks, nothing a lot, because this is only going to be for small scale, as in 15 mil skirmishing, you know. So there'll only be like the odd T-72 and BTRs and whatever. Do that. I've got the famous £40 worth of, as in sterling, £40 worth of ultra modern Russians and Americans sat in a big bag, screaming out to me, "You will do no more till these are paid." But you know, so for myself, I keep flirting with after seeing Stefan's 10 mil Williamite army, I keep flirting with that idea. But I just think, Gav, you know, just get to grips with what you've got. It's going to take you years to turn out your Napoleonic army anyway. You've got your modern Russians. There's a Polish company that do Russians for the what they call their little green men range, as in for literally you could use them for. Not that I'd gain Ukraine when people are out there fighting at the moment, but you know, I'm going to send off some ultra modern Russians in 15 mil. Yeah, I think Napoleonics, modern Russians. I've got a 28 mil. I'm a mad fan of American Revolutionary War myself. It's always been my first port of call, to be honest with you. And I'd started a Perry, 28 mil British force for that, and was going to then add the Americans afterwards. That's been stationary now for about a year. So they're staring at me in the cabinet, and I'm thinking, you know, at some stage, even if I only had, say, another couple of battalions this year, I promised myself one battalion of regulars, two or three companies of loyalists, and then add some some rebels as we go, like, you know.
Pressure's on, Gavin. Pressure's on. You got a lot of unpainted faces looking at you every night.
Well, this is it. Well, actually, I've painted all the AWI stuff. I mean, with me buying more, you know, and you just think, I'm not turning into you lot. I am not having boxes and bags of you know, and especially as I try and paint for a living and selling and all the rest of it, you know, I have a fine. I mean, these Russians, it's only because my mate has been prodding me with his blog. Oh, look at these, Gav, I've painted these extra Chechens, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, all right, you know, so yeah, but I keep looking at those Perrys and I'm thinking, Gav, you've got to get at least another couple of units done this year, and that'll be another one. I'll be walking on a Zimmer frame by the time that you know, that's ever ready to be used. And what I did decide, I told you the other last chat I was on, I love the Infinity, the game sculpts, and I'm going to be fitting in some Infinity, whether I keep them or sell them on, or if they even sell, I don't know yet, but I love their sculpts, and I like to do a bit of different outside the historical occasionally, so get a couple of them into paint just for pleasure. And I'm thinking of doing something like a 75mm or a 95mm figure, and just literally doing that tiny piece by piece in between everything else. You know, if it takes me a year to paint, you know, if it takes me say a month to paint an arm, but literally loads of glaze. Well, you know how long it takes me to paint Highlanders. So you know, if it takes me a month to paint an arm with loads of glazes and whatever, blending and whatever, just
How tall is it?
pardon?
How tall is the figure? What are you talking about?
75mm, 90mm, something like that.
A year? I thought it was painted the bloody Statue of Liberty or something. You know, 1-to-1 size.
Yeah, but you've got to look, guys. You've got to get into the how people how the real top painters do stuff, how they blend, how they. That's what I really enjoy. I like to see how they do stuff, how they get to their end product. Not so much for tabletop gaming, but for the larger figures. You know, I go on Cool Mini or Not, you know, and Chester Colours, and you just look at the stuff the guys do on there. I mean, the top range people, you know. And the only way you're going to do that is getting in there and doing it. You know, you can talk about it and read books and watch videos, but
have you ever thought about doing competitions?
I'd love to, mate. You know, but until I've done a couple myself, as in do a couple, I've never done. I'm sorry, I've got one large scale figure of a 95th Rifleman, funny enough, from the Peninsula, and I did him actually while I was still in the army. I came home on leave and I just walked past a model shop. And I just thought, oh, you know, it's big. I think it was could be 90mm. I can't remember what the exact size is now, but it's a big metal hunk of metal. And I look at it now, and it's so ropey, you know, because I didn't know anything about painting. I didn't know about blending glazes or anything. It really is like all the face is all crummy, you know, where it's been put on with Airfix paints. Or I mean, this was 1996 or something, you know, 95. And I still have that just to look at and say, well, that's where I was. But I've never done a big scale figure since, or a bust. I might even do like one of them 200mm busts, but some of them can be expensive. You know, you could be paying like 45 to 60 quid for one, and it's when you're a bit hard on coin at the moment, it's a bit hard to fund. You know, so I thought something like 75mm, 90mm.
I was thinking if you did some painting competitions, you know, where they have at war game shows and things like that, get in a few of those. If you get your name out there, even if you don't win, you're getting your name and your skills out there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Help you market yourself and your skills at painting.
As I say, I wish I'd have done more of it, rather than just bits and, you know, as I've always said to you guys, I've painted for 30 years, but sometimes it could be 6 25mm figures one year and 20 or 30 the next. You know, it just depended what I was never a gamer. It was just for what I wanted to paint. But I wish I'd stuck at it more seriously, rather than going to all the clubs and that I used to go to, rather than standing on some podium shouting "Acid," you know, and punching the air. Like maybe I should have been sticking up doing some more painting. But yeah, I just love it. I just love painting. It's I find it really relaxation, apart from when you're doing Highlanders. Yeah, it's just been good fun, you know. And like you talk to you different lads over the internet, and I mean, it's today. I was start, you know, when you're hunched over your desk a lot. I thought, oh, I've got to get up and have myself half an hour. So I knocked around with my dogs for a bit, and I just got the iPad out, and I was looking at again some of the top painters, like that Angel Heraldez that paints for that does the Infinity, Corvus Belli, and he's on YouTube. He only puts up little 1.5 minute videos, and it's only got music background. You know, it's only there, I suppose, to showcase his work, but it's still really nice to look at. You know, and yeah, I love seeing high. I don't care if they're done with airbrushes or I'm not. I like brushwork myself, but I mean, I've got an airbrush and I'll get better at it. I just enjoy looking at painted figures, you know. the realism, you know, whether it's something, you know, sometimes somebody can paint something from the retreat from Moscow in 75mm, say, and the skin tones and everything. To me, it's the face really sells it. You know, if somebody's got the skill to do the real decent flesh tones on a, you know, on a figure. And then you go to some fantasy or sci-fi, you know, and it's the same. I just love how they, and some of them there's oh, is it? I don't know if you ever go on. There's a guy. I'm on his Facebook now, and I'm gonna, without knowing his, forgetting his name now, but he's Sprocket's World, I think it's called, and he's got a blog called Sprocket's World, and he does some fantastic figures, whether they're GW figures that he does and he converts and stuff, and it's all by brush, I think. It's absolutely fantastic. He does some steampunk figures. Most of it's fantasy and sci-fi, you know, that's fantasy, but it's Sprocket's World, I think it's called. He doesn't really need a load of people there because he's got thousands already. But really very good painter, and he takes the time to explain how he's, you know, gone from A to B type of thing. And I've always said I'll never have the artistry to be like that. I'm a replicator. I can watch what he does and then try and copy it myself, and then maybe just put my own tiny spin on it, you know. But yeah, sorry about that. I'm hogging the mic again, but
No, you're not. It's perfectly fine. You got something to say. How you doing, James?
Hello.
all right, mate.
Not bad. Yourselves?
No, too bad.
Have I missed the game?
Yeah, it's over. I crushed him in 2 turns.
Ah, okay.
He went home. Nah, he didn't show up, so I'm thinking he's still sleeping. So we'll put it off till tomorrow or maybe later tonight. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Oh, it was a he then. I thought with all the birds you know on Facebook, Curtis, I was waiting to see this girl come around and play. I thought, how does he do it? And it's a bloke. Oh, that's burst me by. I only came on here to see that.
It's definitely the Blucher that pulls him in.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with these bloody infantry.
What were those figures you showed me? That's the ones I'm assuming you're working on. Are they like crew? Gun crews or
gun crew and various like officers and spotters and things.
Gotcha.
They're just doing my head in just now. I don't seem to be getting anywhere with them fast.
You're getting too picky.
That's the way to be. Don't listen to these guys.
There's you, Gavin, are an exception. You're a particular sort of fellow when it comes to painting. You have your requirements. But I know what you're saying because I was like that when I first got in the hobby. Everything had to be just perfect, and I would never settle for a figure that was not realistic looking in every way possible.
You know, I mean, I'm just trying to block in the colours, but I'm just struggling. I've started just taking one strip and doing them to completion, and then getting them ready to be shaded because.
Let me clarify to Gavin here. I didn't mean to insult you or anything. Make like, oh, he's a nitpicking, you know.
You notice my head went right down then. I thought, bloody hell, it's bad enough for me. But I can take it from Ian. We were often hurling insults, like, but when Curtis starts bloody grabbing you, Jesus.
Yeah, well.
Oh, sorry.
It could be worse. They could start criticising your interior decor or something. That's the...
Oh, don't start that, mate.
I was thinking about it. I love those curtains.
You know, see? To get those cornices, and I know they're not straight, but I wasn't like me painting. Oh, don't go there, Curtis.
And it's all good, folks. You want to join in on these chats? We're a good bunch of guys. Good conversation. It's all fun and games. So Gavin shows up and things get very serious.
Till someone loses an eye, and then it's fun and games without depth perception.
How you doing, Dale?
I went into the studio to get some sandpaper and got distracted making bases.
You did. We are live, by the way, my friend, so welcome aboard.
This cork I have comes in a tightly rolled up roll, and it will not lay flat. So I have to get inventive with clamps and weights.
Oh, God.
And this Hobby Tech adhesive is incredibly sticky stuff. It's made to stay sticky after it's dried. You put it on like your tree armatures, wait 15 minutes, and then just stick the armature into a bucket full of clump shrubbery, and it all sticks to the branches.
So are you telling us that you're now stuck to a roll of cork?
Well, right now I'm trying to peel off enough of the layers so that I can regain the sensitivity in my fingers. Right now I can pick up sandpaper with one finger.
I'm like that when I'm super gluing silver tops, you know, like the tops on the bases. I always end up with one stuck to me under my bloody finger with super glue.
Almost always. Every time.
Or you'll be trying to do some, I don't know, I've got like a tray of basing sand next to me and I'll accidentally have glue on my hands, put my hands in the sand.
Oops. What's even worse is when you're using a toothpick to put the super glue on, and you forget and think it's a brush and put it in your mouth like you just did.
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't done that yet.
I think I've had super glue in my mouth accidentally. At one point.
An old customer of mine, when I was doing a lot of tree work, you always hear these horror stories, and because you know different companies put on labels saying "Do not put in your eyes," and you think, what fool is going to put super glue in their eyes? And she was telling me she put some stuff for contact lenses or something, and she put both tubes next to each other.
So?
Squirted bloody super glue at the end of her eyelids or something before just as she realised, but it was too late, so she had to go to hospital and have it all, whatever they do. But you know, you just yes, people do. People do, you know.
Sadly enough, there are reasons for putting instruction labels on the side of a Bic lighter.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit silly though, like a hairdryer that's got a warning "Do not use in the shower" label on it and stuff. Mate once bought a British Army surplus stab-proof jacket for reasons that we won't go into, but it had instructions on it, and one of them was like warning: "Do not test this jacket" type thing.
Don't test the jacket?
Don't test it, yeah. I think the point was people would be putting a stab-proof vest on and going, "Cool, I've got a stab-proof vest on, try and stab me."
And it did.
I asked a question in the chat.
I'm engaged, mate. Sorry.
What was the question?
It's in the chat. I basically asked if anybody's heard from Neil lately.
Oh. No, I don't.
Yeah, I noticed pictures had gone.
Yeah, his last blog post with his daughter playing Bob's Rules, like a fantasy game. I went to look at it, and all the pictures were gone. And I haven't heard from Neil in about a week. So I'm kind of curious if anyone's heard anything.
Paul would be I think Paul, like, because I text and chat with Paul occasionally, big Paul in Scotland, and I think he might do the same with Neil. I'm not 100% sure, but he'd probably know more than anybody.
Well, Neil, if you're out there, let us know what's going on. You okay? And things are good. I haven't heard from you in a while, buddy.
God, it's hard to hold these chaos spikes. They're all covered with little spiky bits.
I thought with all that tacky stuff you were going to say you were covered in chaos bikes then.
Well, I'm just about there too, yes.
Yeah, just put some hobby tack on the spikes and stick it on the desk.
I think I already did that.
How's Bob Curtis? I haven't heard of Bob for ages.
Yeah, last we heard from him was he was over his brother's for the holidays, and I assume that's where he is. I have seen him look at these chats. You can see when somebody views the invitation. I've seen him look, so he's alive. But I haven't seen him or heard from him in a while. But I know he's there. I should probably text him. I got his phone number. I could text him.
I mean, I see him, I'm on his Facebook, and so I see bits and pieces. It's just unusual that I think it's just sometimes how people are, isn't it? You have a spurt at doing something, and then people drop out for a month or two, and then they get all enthused again.
Tom, he's another one. He came on last week once, but he's been busy with holidays, I guess.
You're coming up close, aren't you, Ian, for disappearing for a few weeks holiday?
Yeah, he is 10
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, I'll be, a week tonight will be my last chat before I disappear.
Where are you off to?
Hospital for a bypass operation.
Oh,
So
not exactly a holiday.
No. I'll put me out of commission for about 6 weeks.
Well, we'll think lots of unkind thoughts about you. Just so you know we're thinking about you,
Yeah, that'll do, mate.
I've been looking for a new gaming table, so while he's out flat on his back, I just thought we'd throw a cigar mat over him and.
Yeah.
So when you've been in the Navy or Army or Air Force, you tend to have a blacker look at things.
Yeah, I'm on fine.
Sometimes people take a gasp of breath, but I remember we had a lad take a header over a wall or something, and the ambulance crew turned up, and we were all taking the Michael, and they went mad at us, and it's just the way, it's just you'll make life light of bad situations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's the best way to do it. That's the manly way to handle it.
Well, it's
with
the best
friends.
to be honest, Dale, it's the best thing to do when it's not happening to you.
Well, that always helps. It's easy to say "suck it up, cupcake" when it ain't your cupcakes.
Exactly, yeah. I'll tell you who I haven't seen on for ages, which I don't have a lot of contact with because he tends to be on when I'm not. But I think I've only spoke to him once, but he was on a lot. Was Alex? You know.
No, he's not been on for a while. Don't know why.
I should plug my blog more on here. I've suddenly jumped up to 75 followers, which is brilliant.
Oh, yeah, man, it's got more than me. I think I've got about 23. That's half the boys on here.
Yeah, I think I've only got 12.
Well, I can't. I've joined you, Ian, on what's it called? Google plus Circles. I don't know what it's called, but I can't find. Have you actually got? There's no way on your blog you can actually join. You know, like a lot of us have got these friends. These join the blog counters. You haven't got that on yours, have you?
It does, yeah, because I've done it.
Yeah.
All right, Vince.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
Can you hear me? Is my mic plugged in?
You're very quiet, mate.
Okay.
It was all set up for the party and you didn't turn up, buddy.
Yeah,
Ready to roll, and you were still in bed, snoring.
my alarm clock is my phone, and it died in the night, so I didn't wake up too early.
You still want to play, Vince?
I'm up already.
Oh, God. You just got up?
Yeah, like I said, technical difficulties. I'll blame it on that.
I told you about changing your music on your alarm clock.
Yeah, I did that the other day. You know what really wakes you up? Old school gangster rap. That really does it.
Yeah, that would certainly do it for me. Although it would quickly be followed by my source of music bouncing off the nearest wall.
All right, let me throw this out there. Are you guys willing to watch us finish our battle today?
I'm not watching you now.
Okay, Dale.
Of course you can put the battle on.
Yeah, it's fine by me. See how it goes.
All right, we can do that then, Vince. And
Right, let's finish it out.
we'll finish that off, but keep this a chat for the time being because I gotta set it all up and get ready again.
Yeah, I'd have to go and do a couple of things.
Okay, you do that, Vince, and we'll take care of our battle. Well, folks, there you go. Tabletop Commanders Paint and Play will be on.
And the crowd goes wild.
Well, I was going to say they're queuing up for this one, aren't they?
He'll have the lassies battering down his door.
He has that already, mate. Believe me. You go on his Facebook. I'm telling you. I can't get rid of them.
I've already got one mate who shares enough inappropriate pictures that end up on my wall somehow. Thankfully, he had also added my missus as a friend a while ago, so she now gets the same things. So when she sees them in mine, she can't complain.
It's weird. All those French I was doing and I was struggling with, and I needed some French help, and I kept saying, "Where's Vince?" And bloody hell, now I've finished and I'm doing Highlanders. Vince turns up. Yeah.
What regiment of Highlanders are you doing out of interest?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't want to, and that's nothing against the Black Watch. I'm doing the 42nd, the Black Watch, but I was going to do, I think it was the 71st, and it was basically just on the. I've got the brigade from GMB colours, you know, the flags, and I thought, oh, everybody does the Black Watch, you know, I'll do the 71st with the yellow facings, and I was telling Paul I'd painted all the facings on. I normally do them in groups of 6 or 8, but I decided this regiment I'd literally go to everything, the whole 36. So I've done 36 facing colours, and I hadn't done enough. As I say, I'm really coming into Napoleonics, you know, fresh, so I don't know a lot, and I didn't realise that the 71st lost their kilts in about 1809. And I know these are for sale on eBay, but I thought some bugger's going to say, oh, I lost the kilts in 1809, you know, that shouldn't really be kilted. So, you know, I've ended up changing. I had to paint them all over to the Black Watch.
All right.
But I did want to do something, you know, just everyone does the watch, like, you know, and I'd have to do them at some stage, but, you know, I fancy doing something different, but
Yeah.
as a, you know, a note to everybody out there, do your homework, which Gav didn't do.
Well, I had to start writing stuff down for mine, keeping a note on the computer because I was going round in circles with stuff, and although I'm not having to do tartans or worry about facings or anything like that, I still, like all the vehicle markings and things, I was getting myself tied in knots over what I should have and what I shouldn't have and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was, one of my other projects, I did a box of those plastic 15mm late war British from Plastic Soldier Company. And
Yeah.
I got a couple of universal carriers, brain carriers, whatever you want to call them. And but I wanted to do, because I'm like Staffordshire Regiment, I wanted to do the Staffordshire Division. Now they were only, you probably know yourself, they were only in Normandy for a short time before the whole division got broken up because of the casualties. Because they were the youngest in there, they were selected for getting bossed up by, you know. And but there's a guy out there, and he does that. He happens to do the Staffordshire division, so I've got a load of decals for that. And of course, like we've just been saying with projects, they're sat there painting up, but I've done no weathering on them, you know. And they probably will sit there for another 6 months or more.
Yeah. Well, I ended up going for these guys as the 7th Battalion Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, and it was really just based on these were the infantry battalion that was with my grandfather's regiment during the night attacks, so I went for these guys. But oddly enough, the other two battalions in the same brigade are both Black Watch battalions.
1940 France, Jamie?
No, I don't, but young David, Paul's nephew's doing them, I think.
Excuse me, guys, am I in this chat?
Yes.
Who said that? So many icons up
My
there.
name's Bob, so I've been speaking to Curtis about his Blucher games.
Yeah, you're in, Bob. Curtis has disappeared for a minute. He's him and Vince are going to be finishing off this Blucher game that's on at the moment. So feel free to chat.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, he's Vince has just turned up for the game, so he's just sitting down now, Curtis.
Okay, I'm just checking I've got all the settings right.
Hi, Robert. Nice to meet you.
Add Bob, please.
Bob. Yes, sir, Bob. Well, it says Robert, so I err on the side of caution.
I went official for the profile, but the
I
name's
keep
gone.
forgetting what to call Len Connect.
Bill.
Bill, that's right.
We hit 10 again, Ian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We jumped from 4 to 10. I looked away and there's 10 people.
Yeah,
Well,
it's Bob.
3 of
guy
them are
that-
you, right? Posting your figures.
Yeah.
Well, we found out where. I was going to say we found out where Bob turned up. He's ended up over here with a UK accent.
Yeah. How you doing, Robert?
It's Bob, please, Curtis. Bob.
Bob, I'll remember that. Now we got how many Bobs now? Bob's, Gary's. That's great.
Stop calling me Bob. I'm Bill.
That's right.
I'm
never
the guy
called
that
you
had the
Bob.
chat with you regarding Blucher, Curtis.
All right, what was that?
I said I'm the guy that had the chat with you regarding Blucher on your videos on
Yeah,
Google.
I remember that guy.
So I thought I'd pop in and have a chat to you for real.
That's great. Yeah, you brought up some good observations, particularly some rules I missed. Yeah, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we played Blucher for a long while now. So and you found things that I hadn't. So that was quite interesting as well. I actually found the proof in the end of the crest line. It's on about 3 different pages, but I actually found a forum post by Sam where he says, yes, it does block it. If you've got troops that are behind and in front of the crest line, the footprint, then they are obstructed.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Makes sense. All right, so we're going to wait on me to get the final stuff set up here, and then we'll get into the game, Vince. And everybody's welcome to watch and observe while we do this, make a few comments, advice on tactics, whatever you would like to do. That's usually
Well, I'll be on for about another half hour, Curtis, and then I'll be disappearing. But I don't want to, I don't want to say, oh, I'm off if you're in the middle of your game. So I'll be on till about 8:30, mate, and then I'll disappear into the sunset.
I got you, Gav. That's fine.
Well, there is some pretty interesting stuff that's gonna happen in half an hour, so you won't be missing much. Well, except the end of the battle, of course. You can watch that later.
And I'll fill you on a few things, Vince. Something I caught last night. A friend of mine, he pointed out another mistake that I made. It wasn't Bob. It was another friend of mine. He pointed out that during that little combat, that little close assault we had in the woods, up with Nay's Corps,
Yeah.
you remember that both our units were destroyed at the same time? Well, that basically doesn't happen in Blucher. You as the defender had 1 elan left. Me as the attacker, I had 2. Well, I attacked you. I moved in and made contact, and I was the attacker. You won the combat. Okay? Now, as the defender, even though you won, you were destroyed because you take 1 elan loss automatically. So you were broken. My side, the attacker, lost the combat. And what I did is I gave my unit 2 fatigues, 2 elan loss, which destroyed it. That's not how it works. There's a little sentence in there in the rule book that says that you only take 1 elan loss if you're the attacker and you lose, as long as your opponent was broken. So I put the unit back, technically. He would have 1 elan left, and then I would have retired him. So there's no way you could have destroyed that unit. So I gave myself 1 unit back that wasn't destroyed, and instead he counts as retired.
Right.
But I will take a penalty in the next turn of the game. I will take an additional momentum loss of 1 point just to retire him, or 2 points just to retire him. So I'll take that as a penalty in the next turn. But your unit was destroyed. Mine was retired, so currently you have lost 5 units and I've lost 1.
Well, with all these damaged units, your units might blow up a bit more with my reserves coming in.
We shall see, my friend. It's an exciting battle. I'll get these cameras all set up and then I'll go over the battle so far, what's going on, so people watch this later can catch up. And then we'll take it from there, and we're going to be on turn 20, I believe. Starting with the Russians. That's you, right?
Yes. I'm always the pair turns.
Yeah, it's turn 20, and that's going to be the Russians. We'll probably finish this battle tonight, so then we can talk about it and such. So you guys enjoy the paint and chat for a few minutes while I set up and get myself ready. Welcome aboard, Bob. You too, Bill.
If you want to uncomplicate things, I go by the name of Curler Man on the forums.
What is it?
Curler Man.
Curler Man.
Yep. Because I use hair curlers for model soldiers.
Oh, that makes it different.
It sounds familiar, actually. For
I can find some.
the Horde of the Things. For the what's that DBA fantasy version? Oh, hot. Horde of the Things. Are you the guy that does that?
No, my two current things are hair curlers have always been there. I can show you these. This is a British infantry from the Seven Years' War.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you can see those.
I can see it. Nice flags.
And the cavalry are made from hair curlers and cardboard.
So you're curious, if you'd have known that, you'd have saved yourself all that money on those 10 mils.
I've been doing this since about the 80s when I met the guy who actually invented them back at a War Games development conference at Cal, and really liked the idea, so I made some of those, and I did that for years. I mean, I have got metal figures and I have got plastic figures, but they're so easy to make and such fun to play with because they look great on the table. And but unfortunately, the ones I bought in the 80s at Boots in the UK, and they stopped making hair curlers like that now. So I found a guy in the UK about 12 months ago who was making MDF 6mm figures. Some of you may have seen him at shows. Find some. These are some that I'm just working on. The rest are down in the garage. Those are 6mm figures cut from MDF.
Bloody bad, is it?
Oh, they're really good. I love them. I've got thousands of the things now. So that's what I do. So the name hair curler, Curler Man, came from the hair curler armies that I've been doing for years. So if that's easier than Bob, Curler Man's fine.
So did you order, Jamie, those heroics and Ross yet, have you? Or
No, it's on hold just now, mate.
I went on their site again, and it just really shows me that people can't put bloody photographs up of, you know, because I thought, well, because I want to do some more modern Russians, but like you, I thought, 6mm, and like you say, I really love those GHQ figures, and I still might go down that road, but like you say, they're blooming expensive over
They
here.
are, yeah.
And I thought, well, I'll go, like you said, I'll go on the heroics and Ross and have a look at those, and then you just see You know, it just does your head in at this day and age that people. There isn't really an excuse for not being able to take a photograph and
No.
stick it on
Have you
a
seen,
website.
have you seen that Bacchus are said to be producing World War II figures this year in 6mm?
No, somebody had said to me earlier on in the year that, oh, sorry, last year, that they were on about doing them, but they were having trouble with the molds or something, or
His
whether that was.
New Year's Day letter that they sent out on the internet was saying that his new range was almost ready.
Oh,
And there
right.
were some pictures that look quite good as well.
Oh, cheers for that. I'll have a look
Well,
at
that's
that.
cool. Bacchus's World War One stuff is really awesome, you know. For 6mm, it looks really great.
Yeah, I have been thinking about it, but it's on hold just now.
Beginning to feel like I'm a minority with 28mm miniatures.
Well, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and I'm doing 28 in a minute as well.
No, I'm doing Warhammers, so
Yeah,
More 28 mils on here than anything else.
be honest, guys, you're all the big high rollers. You've got the money to afford 28s. You know what I mean? I mean, poor old Bob with his hair curlers, he must be living on the street. You know what I mean? And then there's me,
Well,
me and Jamie. You know, we're absolutely. He's saving up for a wedding. I'm just saving up to pay bills. You know, and we've got to go 15.
28mm are so big. I mean, what do you paint them with? A 3-inch brush and enamel paint, or what?
That's what I do my 15s with.
well, sometimes I base coat with a brush like this, a 12 brush. I mean,
I just can't
pretty
paint
fucking-
28s. They're much too big for me.
yeah, well, it's just gaming wise that I don't like them. You know, you put them on a table and table souvenir is really small when you look at it.
I think that's why I went down the 6mm route originally. The biggest I've got is 10 mils now.
I mean, it depends what you do. For a medieval fantastic, fantasy game or whatever, there's just something cool about blocks of 10 guys in 28mm for some reason. But when it comes to sci-fi, I would rather be have 40K in like 20mm or something.
When that drops down, well, mate.
Well, I think it lends itself to skirmish wargaming myself, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I always find it dumb the idea of playing massive company battles in 28mm. Warhammer 40K is supposed to be a skirmish game, not a mass apocalyptic battle game.
I agree.
Yeah, but that doesn't sell miniatures.
Yeah, true. I think that's one of the reasons they killed off the epic ranges. The 6mm stuff. Because
No,
if
it's just
they,
the usual. They didn't support it. They released it, didn't support it, and then wondered why no one was buying it. But it's coming back, apparently, so...
yeah, it is. I'm quite happy about it, but well,
There are a
Yeah.
lot of lookalikes as well in 6mm now. Onslaught Miniatures and people like that do some lovely stuff.
yeah, they do. They do not 40K, so you can play epic, and they even got sisters, so
Yeah.
really enjoy that. And yeah, so the only thing I'm worried about for epic is it might be just a box game like the Games Workshop are starting to do regularly. Just a
Yeah.
this box game. I don't know if they're gonna do expansions for it and stuff.
Well, apparently that chap Evan that was on the other night was saying that's supposedly what was discussed at the recent Warhammer thing that they had, where they were saying that with these games it looks like GW itself will release a plastic core box, and then this new Specialist Games will be doing add-ons in resin.
Christ, it's gonna be fucking expensive.
Yeah, well, the Forge World stuff's not too expensive, and it's
Really?
basically Forge World that's doing it.
Forge World, I mean, I don't know if from other things, but when it comes to 40k, Forge World are the most expensive miniatures I ever saw in my life.
Well,
Yeah, but the big
there's
kits
some
are.
brilliant stuff on Shapeways, but it's so expensive when you add on the shipping, etc. There's some really good stuff on Shapeways.
Well, they did remedy the shipping on Forge World. They changed their site and a couple of things. Now you just pay I think it's 20% of the order instead of paying $50. No, in Canada we used to pay £25 minimum. Now, we can pay up to £4 or £5 for a £20 order. So at least that's a good thing. And you get free shipping over £250, which, trust me, is easy to attain with Forge World stuff.
The only trouble I have with Shapeways, and I haven't conquered it yet, is getting it to take paint. It's always got that rough texture look about it when you paint stuff.
Yeah, I did a review of some 15mm 3D printed tanks recently, and they had that kind of funny texture on them. But once they were painted on the tabletop, I don't think you would really notice it was just actually painting them.
Yeah, the thing is, it's a more artificial kind of texture. It's not like the Battlefront resins.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look as good.
I said on the table, half a metre away, and you can't really tell. It's just if you're up close, and at that kind of scale, you're not normally up too close. So
I'm waiting for the next stage. That's when they print with colour and the figures come ready to play on the table.
The old paint and chat would be redundant then.
I still don't like the idea of 3D printing.
It's coming, but it's not quite there yet.
I saw that Armies chap has got a Kickstarter up for 15mm Cold War Brits and cold weather gear.
Yeah, my mate sent me the email for that. I'm actually on his blog, and I looked at it today because obviously he does modern Russians, and I'm mad on modern Russians.
Yeah, VDV stuff he's doing, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for his infantry though. He's got some tank riders supposed to be coming out, and they look great on some 15mm Soviet Soviet or Federation armor, but I ain't got the time and money to blow at Kickstarters. It's just a matter of just waiting for things to develop, really.
Well, saying that, I think a squad, like a platoon of infantry was like 11 quid or something, which is pretty good for that number of 15mm figures.
It's not like somebody's asking you for 100 quid, is it? To do something, which is, I suppose, is
Yeah.
V8. Oh, hi. Sorry. It's all wet outside.
It's been for like 12 hours now. So I think a Pulsing Blade delivery with 30 feet in the last month.
Nice.
So I placed an order for Lion Rampant and Dragon Rampant. And I also placed an order for Lart de Lagar.
Yeah, that big. Yeah. All three of them. Line Rampant and Art are certainly good sets. Dragon Rampant's based on Lion Rampant, so I should imagine that's pretty good as well. It's just Lion Rampant with dragons and magic, that's all.
So I'm gonna give those different games a try. I think I'll. I was thinking of maybe doing what Curtis does with his Napoleonic rule sets. Maybe I'll start doing the same with the ancient medieval rule set. See how that works out.
Yeah.
Such as online games like that, or
Yeah.
that could be awesome.
Yeah, well, it's worth doing. The more people that have give it a go, the better. The more live battles on there.
I also have soft rules already. I've had for a year or so. I haven't gotten to the table yet. Maybe that will spur my enthusiasm to get through those on the table.
I just got myself a copy of Aurelian, the new Sam Mustafa Ancient. Looks really interesting.
Huh?
Yeah, it's
So
supposed to
very
be good.
fine.
Right, boys, I'm going to disappear. So you enjoy your game, and I'll thanks for your company, and I shall catch you again on the next one. Or the
Take
one
care,
after that.
Gavin.
All right. See you,
Thank
buddy.
you, boys.
Catch you later.
До свидания.
See you later.
You ready, Vince?
Just gotta put my Mongolian heavy metal, and I'll be ready.
Yeah, you know what else you have to do? Get your mic so I can hear you better, because it's a little bit hard to hear you.
Is this good? Is this better?
A little bit.
I'll just try to speak louder.
All right, you guys, we're going to get right into the game, so if there's any problems, just mute your mic. Like if we're getting feedback or echoes, just mute the mic. Otherwise, throw in some feedback. I might have an issue here and there with the rules. If you want to remind me of something, feel free to do it.
When do the Space Marines deploy?
On the north side, they're coming.
I think it's Deep Strike.
Just as a reminder, if you can see this, can you see this red icon tab? That's the north edge of the board. When you're giving me instructions as to a guy moves to the south or a guy moves to the east, do it in relation to this edge being the north edge. Now, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
How's the camera angles, Ian?
Yeah, they're fine. I'm just looking at looking from the south edge. That looks fine, and the north edge. Looking at from the north edge is fine as well. And finally, yeah, above the village. Yeah, everything's spot on.
Yep.
Curtis, is there not about 8 more French units on the table than there were last night?
You get out of here. Mute yourself. You're supposed to give away things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, folks. Here's part 3. Probably the conclusion to our battle we've been playing for, what, 3 days now? How do you like that? Culmination of our map movements using the Scharnhorst rules from the Blucher game. Worked out pretty good. You'll have to bear with us. We make a few mistakes here and there, especially with the map movements. We first time doing that. So I know we made a couple mistakes, some of which I spotted, some of which were pointed out by my friends. And try to fix it as best we can as we go along here. I'll give you a rundown on the situation. What we got here is we got Russians on the east side of this yellow line here, basically almost all entirely over on the east side of this line. They're defending this village. It's worth 1 victory point according to the campaign, and I should fill you in on that. The Russians currently have 5 victory points to win the battle with. The French have 4. So this village here, worth 1 victory point, is kind of important, because if the Russians lose this village, they will lose that 1 victory point, and I will gain it, which means the French will be at 5 victory points, and the Russians will be at 4, which means they lose the battle. So it's a pretty important objective. Now, there are other objectives on the battlefield, one of which is here on this hill. You can see by the little white icon. There's one down here by the bridge. Normally, they'd be important to the battle, but because this village is so important, these objectives are pretty much irrelevant for this battle. Whoever controls this village at the end of the battle, which is 30 turns, will win the battle. That's basically how it works. So you want to pay attention to this village. The second way to win this battle, and it might come down to this, is by breaking the opposing army. The Russians are under Kutuzov. He's a pretty stable individual. He's pretty good at keeping his troops motivated and in the field. They have a break point of 10. So when 10 Russian units are broken, they're out of the battle and they give up the field. And they lose the battle, basically. For the French, their break point is 8. So it's a little less. Basically 30% of their army. As I said, Kutuzov is a stable individual, and his break point is actually 50% of his army. So he's going to stick around a while. Currently, the Russians are at 5 units broken. So they can afford to take 5 more broken units before they give up the field. The French have only got 1 unit which is broken. And like I said, they can go as many as 8 before they're broken. And that includes the reserves that have just arrived on the battlefield. So that's the situation. The Russians are being pounded pretty heavy so far in the battle. The right flank over here, to the right of their village, took a big beating. They lost almost an entire corps defending this hill objective from Marshal Ney, who assaulted early on in the battle with his infantry corps. They took the objective, and there's only 1 brigade of infantry remaining from that original Russian corps that was defending this hill. And it's right here, and it's fatigued with 1 elan remaining. Not good, Vince. This unit will be destroyed unless he can retire it from the battlefield, which is not likely. The French are all the way back here in this position, all the way up around here. There's not much room for escape unless he heads back into the village itself. We'll see what he does. Flanking this unit of Russians is another corps of Russian infantry, which has been holding on to this village right from the beginning of the battle. They have a garrison of grenadiers inside the village, which is basically the location of the objective marker. It's underneath them. The gates are protected by this battery of guns massed in front of it, basically with 1 ammo left. So I think he's going to hold on to that for the final push on the village. And he's got 2 fresh infantry brigades right here, well ahead of the village, including one that has attached guns. I got it sitting on top of the unit as a little reminder. But yeah, they have an attached battery of guns in that infantry brigade. So this is his defenses of the village. He basically has almost broken unit of infantry, 2 full-strength units of infantry, a massed battery of guns at the gates, and some grenadiers inside the village garrisoning it. And that's his defense. Down here in the center, kind of dispersed and falling back, are my Saxons from my Saxon corps. They were protecting the right flank of Ney when he did his assault on the hill. And their forces are pretty much beaten up. The Saxons are pulling back at this point, facing the west, which is towards me over here. They're pulling back. They have 2 beat up brigades of infantry right here, down to 2 Elan. They do have a battery of massed guns back here, which has only fired 3 times in the battle so far, so it's half depleted in ammunition. So it's still going to be useful. And there's 2 units of hussars just back from recon deployment during the map-based part of the game. Still a decent strength, but they've taken some hits. They were placed here to support the Saxons. So there's not a whole lot going on in the center here in front of the bridge for the French. They're basically pulling back. To the right of the bridge, to my right, over here, this is a pretty high, exciting moment in the battle. The rest of my Saxon corps was deployed on this side of the river, or the stream, I should say. And they were holding on to this bridge, and they took some losses. And that was the result of being assaulted early on by a corps of Russian guards. Basically, all of his guards and grenadier units were in this corps, and they hit pretty hard. Unfortunately for the Russians, they were repulsed, and the Saxons held firm. Amazing. And the only units remaining from that guard corps right here, he has 2 very depleted, fatigued brigades of grenadier guards basically. They both have 1 Elan remaining left. They're both in prepared positions, indicated with the yellow chips. So they're basically surrounded at this point, about to get overwhelmed and destroyed.
They shall die for the motherland.
What's that, Vince?
They will die for the motherland.
I guess so. But yeah, facing them at this moment is the remnants of the Saxons, which is 2 brigades of infantry at about half strength at this point. Davout's corps just arrived a couple turns ago in the battle. They haven't really moved forward except to get on the battlefield. It includes 4 fresh units of infantry, French infantry, flanked by a massed battery of foot guns, and further flanked by a concealed unit of light cavalry, hussars. So yeah, that's Davout's corps, and he's coming up on this board edge, fresh. Another important thing to watch here is that the French cavalry corps, the reserve, made up of 2 cuirassiers and 2 dragoon brigades, did commit early on in the battle to support the Saxons against the Russian guards, and that played a critical role actually in pinning the Russian assaults. And they're currently located here. If you can see my marker, right now it's leveled on a cuirassier unit right here, who is flanked by a dragoon unit, both of which have taken some losses. The dragoons particularly took quite a few losses. They're down to 2 Elan. The cuirassiers aren't too bad. They're at 5 Elan. And the rest of their corps is scattered about the battlefield. One right here, we've got some cuirassiers crossing the stream. Pretty good, almost full strength. That's what's going on with the cavalry. So as you can see, the grenadiers are pretty surrounded. I don't think they're going to last long. And I should point out that this guard corps, the remnants of it, these 2 infantry guard brigades, are being led by Ditoli, the Russian sub-commander. He's with this 1 unit here. So it doesn't look good. Another point of interest here is that the Russians did bring on the reserve, which consists of 3, let's see, 3 infantry brigades, standard Russian line infantry, some guard Cossacks behind them, and some cavalry in the woods right here. And also bringing up the rear, also in the woods, is a unit of grenadiers. This is their corps that was just arrived a few turns ago. And right now they're kind of locked in prepared positions because the enemy cavalry has kind of pinned them in the open here. And they're finding that they have to go through the woods and across the stream in order to bypass these enemy French cavalry. So we'll see how far he gets out of there, if he can help out defend this village or save Dotoli's remnants of his corps. We'll see. That's the situation. It's going to be the Russians next, turn 20, I believe, and we'll see what the Russians do. Again, up here we have the north edge. So, Vince, when you give out your orders, if you want a unit to move left or right, or don't say left or right, say north or south or east or west. It'll be easier for me to translate it on the tabletop. And I think that's it. One more thing I should point out to anyone who watches this later. For momentum, we are using a deck of cards. This is a 300-point battle, so we've got a deck of 18 cards. The top 3 are always, well, let me show you the deck. They're all the same except for one, which is going to be a joker. When this joker comes up, it means activations are over for your side. So you don't want to see this card come up. How it works with this 18-card deck, you take the top 3. And they could be any cards from a standard playing deck. Just the only card you want to distinguish is the joker. So in my case, I got nothing but red cards here. Now that's your joker. That means the turn ends for activations. You take the top 3 normal cards. You set them aside. The rest of the deck, which is 15 cards, and it includes the joker. You shuffle that up. Shuffle it up good. Once you're satisfied with that, you put these top 3 cards, which are non-jokers, on the top. You're all set to go and start spending your momentum points. So instead of rolling 3d6, you're going to be drawing cards for each point of momentum that you spend. So basically activate your unit and pull the cards equivalent to how much momentum you just spent to activate that unit, or with a core activation, the number of units activated. When that joker comes up, you're done. No more activations. If you were using 2d6 with a 200-point game, you'd only use 12 cards. And same principle, except you take off the top 2 and set them aside, shuffle the rest, then put these 2 on top. That's what you do with a 2d6 type of momentum roll. And this I got off the forum on Honor Games. It's a great solo technique. Me and Ian tried it once for a 2-player game on mine. Worked out pretty good. It's very visual. It shows up easy on the camera, so we've stuck with it. So that's how momentum works in our particular game.
Do you, if you start off a game and you only have 1 core on the table, do you start with just 6 cards? If it's less than 100 points.
I guess you could. I would probably start off with 2d6. I'd start off with 12 cards. If you were playing a 100-point game, say using just a d6 for your momentum, I think you could do that if you wanted. I'd say
take Scharnhorst now, so it will come up that you'll get a battle with less than 100 points on the table on one side or the other.
Yeah. It depends on how you want to play that. I never tried a 100-point game or a d6 game.
Try it. It's worth it, eh? It's good fun.
Is it really? We shall see. Well, for the time being, we got 18 cards. That's quite a bit. Okay, you on board there, Vince? Know what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and as we discussed earlier, we did make a rules mistake over here in the woods. My unit shouldn't have been destroyed, but it would have took 1 Elan loss and left with just 1 Elan remaining. I would have pulled them off the table, retired. So I am going to take 2 points of momentum as a penalty in my next turn. So I'll just draw 2 cards right off the bat and set them aside. And that's
Which turn are you on? Sorry.
I'm playing the French. He's got the Russians.
No, the turn number.
20.
Okay. So now do you reduce the cards? I'm going
That's
turn
an option, and I don't really want to use it, but I could. The rule is that once you, to represent fatigue of armies fighting over all day long, you just reduce the deck of cards to, what is it, 2d6?
2d6, yeah. You take 1d6 off it when you get to turn 20.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to use that rule for this game.
Okay.
It sounds interesting, though. Okay, Vince. You good?
Yes,
You good with the camera angles? All that good stuff?
it's all perfect.
All right, well, information phase. There's nothing to reveal. It's all good. You're going to go right to your activations. Where would you like to begin, my friend?
Okay, first of all, I want to know at the south, my reserves. Can any make a reserve move through
You
a
know what?
difficult
Hold on
terrain?
a second. Hold on, Vince. Let me turn up my volume. I can hear you, but it seems like it's a little low at the moment.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, now I can hear you better. And again, folks, this camera view you're seeing when you watch this back on YouTube, that's this camera here. It's probably the better camera, but just for the sake of interest, let me click on the other cameras just so you can kind of see what the players can see if they click on it. And that right there is I believe that's the east side. It's a little blurry. It's not as high a quality camera. It's the east side. And over here, we've got the southern map. That's what they see there. It's down on this side where the reserves for the Russians are coming on. Pretty cool.
Should I be seeing different camera angles now?
Well, you could if you click on the different maps. I have 3 cameras set up.
Ah, right, gotcha. Okay, fine. Cheers.
There you go.
Excuse
You're all set.
Excuse the noob.
It's okay. Let me just make sure everything is visual for you. It's all an experiment, my friends. It's all an experiment. Okay, Vince, again, if you need to see anything in particular, just tell me and I'll point it out to you and maybe even give you a better view with the camera.
Right.
All right, we're all set, folks. Vince is going to take his first turn for the day with his Russians. Okay, where do you want to start? Core activations.
I want to know before. Can units do a reserve move for difficult terrain?
No.
Okay, so that's pretty much done.
The only thing you have that can make a reserve move at this point is this Grenadier unit inside the village. I don't know why you'd want to move him, though. And that's it, really. Everything else has moved through difficult terrain already or has been spotted. So that's all you have.
So right, I'll do a I'll do a core activation at the South Regiment.
Reserve?
Yeah.
All right, you got 2 units in line, 2 units of line right here that are prepared. Moving through the woods, you got a unit of line infantry. And behind them is a Grenadier unit. And up here we have some normal cavalry. And your Guard Cossacks are in the back here. They've got 5 elan left after fighting with my cuirassiers and dragoons.
Are my infantry in range, firing range to the French cavalry?
No. I don't think. No. Out of range.
I'll start off with the infantry in the woods that will move up as far as they can go.
Right.
To the north.
Double check.
Vincent,
range.
see, with regards to those 2 units in the woods, would it not be better to cross the river where they are rather than slog all the way through the woods? Because they only move 1 through the woods, and it takes 1 for them to cross the river. So would it not be better just to move them over the river to the clear terrain on the other side? I don't know what you're doing with them, but if you're moving them towards the village,
I just gotta get a good angle to try to see. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
because you're moving them up the table through the woods, whereas it makes sense to go, what would it be, east?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Well, this is what they look like after moving. They move 1 base width forward. And that's it. They're facing the north.
Yeah, no, they'll go to the east.
Can I remove the icons?
You click. You can. Are you having trouble seeing the bottom of the screen because of the icon? There's an app called Draw. If you go over to it and click it, it'll shrink your screen and get away from those icons.
Okay.
If you can find it, move your mouse to the left and you'll see a bunch of apps. One of them is Draw. It's a pencil with a mustache.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that's 2 activations. What about the rest of the infantry? You're all in distance of each other to move all of them if you want. So there's 2. Bob. Curler Man.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
I didn't look this up, and I think it's because I've been playing some Black Powder. But is there a rule that when you make a core activation, do the units that are activated have to end within 1 base width distance?
No.
They only have to start that way. All
Yep,
right.
they can end up wherever you want, but they
All right.
must be within 1 base width to begin with.
Yeah, I'm getting that from Black Powder. When they do that, they have to end that type of move within distance of each other. All right. Thank you.
The cavalry will also move to the east.
All right, they're going to be able to move 2. Now you're out of command, or you're out of 1 base width distance, so you can't activate as a core with these guys. Just so you know. All right, so that's 3 units.
The Cossacks will move the other side towards the cavalry.
This way?
Yeah.
Which way do you want to face?
Well, can they charge the cavalry? Or?
Well, you have to face this direction, actually. No.
They can't see them.
You want to get as close to them as you can and face them? You can't reach them and you can't see them, so you can't charge them. Not now, anyway. If you go where you're at, Vince, you're going to be charged in the next turn and you're not going to have your shock bonus. It's 5 Elan against 5 Elan, but I do have Dragoons that could also charge you, possibly in flank.
Would you not do better to pull one of those infantry back and replace it with the
Well, what I wanted to do is maybe try to. Yeah, I forgot when you. Still gotta remember the rules. Like when the infantry attacks cavalry, it's not that good unless they're prepared. And I can't stay a sitting duck the whole game, so I have to do something. Know what? The Cossacks will move south completely.
South is off the board.
Not south, east.
Okay. You want to kind of go up this way and get across that river?
Yeah.
I moved you 4 base widths, which is their 4. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. It'd have to end right here. A little less than 4. Because otherwise they're hitting the river, and that's difficult. So that's as far as they can get at the moment. And you have to face that way, so yeah, it's the best I can do. Alright, you got these 2 last units of infantry. Do you want to get out of prepared and do anything, or do you want to just hold position?
If the unit of infantry more towards the north moves into the woods, can the cavalry still charge them next turn?
I'll be penalized because I'll be in difficult.
You can't charge cavalry into woods.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't even charge you. You could go in there, but I don't think you're going to reach.
How strong are the cavalry? What elan have they got left?
All right, now, Vince, this unit here of Dragoons only has Elan 2. It's not a huge threat. The Cuirassiers over here on their flank have 5. That's a little more threatening. Both units have shock, however.
Even so, charging fresh cavalry, even if they have to throw again, is not bright. It's not a great move on infantry because the infantry aren't going to run away.
No, what I'm gonna do is try to move the infantry in the woods, if I can. If they can't,
You won't reach. You'll flank you. Oh no, you can stay facing, obviously.
Hey, you'd make a difficult move and shift one base width to your unit's right flank. That's about the best you could do.
but do I end up in the woods?
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's the main goal here.
All right. Same thing?
Well, these can't really end up in the woods, so they'll stay prepared as a unit of cuirassiers in their face.
Yeah.
So that's it for that core activation.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Up. Bad luck, Vince. You just got the Joker. You saw that, right?
Ah, shit. Dang good.
No, it's not good. Luck is definitely not on your side in this battle. All right, go right to your shooting. Nothing here. You do have your guards down here that continue to exchange musketry with the Saxons. That's about it. They have 1 elan each, so you're going to be rolling 1 dice needing 6s against these Saxons. So you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll fire.
All right, on this target right here from him, the long range, it's going to be rounded up to 1 dice.
I got it.
You need a 6.
I missed.
Same thing here.
Missed.
Okay, we'll go up this way. You got your artillery. I'm assuming you're going to hold that last shot.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go up here to the infantry. These infantry are within long range of my Saxons, who are withdrawing currently with 2 elan. Your troops are at full 6 elan. It'll be long range. You roll 3 dice, needing 6s if you want to take it.
2 hits.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Got him.
sir. That's
Got
it.
him.
There's 1 unit dead.
You broke them.
Ugh.
Right there, folks. The rest of my Saxons got broken.
Shot down brutally.
I didn't expect that. Good shooting, my friend. The unit next to it, right here, with guns attached, they can also shoot, I think. Or no, I guess they can't. There's no one to shoot at. Okay, we go to that one last unit here, which has 1 elan.
Which I desperately need to retreat, but turns
It
out...
has, it has no targets. This unit is behind this crest line.
yeah, that's what I thought.
That's it.
So that's close combats, which there isn't any, I think.
Close combats? No, there's none.
So I guess that's turn 20 for the Russians.
Yeah. And your status phase, there's nothing. So all your reinforcements are on the table. You're good. Goes to the
Well,
French.
what was a shitty turn for the Russians, made up with awesome shooting.
Yeah, you finished off that 1 unit. There you go. Not bad, not bad. There's the French deck. Good to go. Village is on fire, Vince.
Right. Yeah.
All right. All right. French activations. Okay, I got Ney already on the table. Davout isn't on the table, but I'm not going to bring him. Oh yeah, I should, shouldn't I? All right. Let me bring Davout now. This guy will work. Haven't finished him yet. He'll work.
Don't see why. He will.
Attach him to this unit of infantry. He's on the table. What he does, he's like the Tolly. He 1/2 the momentum spent as long as the unit is activated. Where do I want to begin? All right, first we're going to start with Ney up here in this position. He's with this unit that has 3 Elan left. I'm probably going to try and rally that unit. What I will also do is try and move the other units first. And all of these units are in command distance for his activations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This unit here will charge into the flank of this unit. Overkill. Actually, it's not a flank. I'm in your front. So that's 1. This unit here will advance on the village. Full 2 base widths. What was this unit's Elan? It fell out of the pod. You remember?
Which one?
This one.
Don't remember. I know there's one that had 1 run. Maybe 2?
What, this unit? No way. Well, I'll put it at 4. I don't think it was 1 or 2. I would have known that. Anyway, so that's 2 activations right there. This unit with Ney. Core activation. Bob, can I use the rally ability as a core activation?
No, it has to be independent.
Gotcha.
It's got to be an individual unit activation.
All right, so this unit.
For activations, basically.
All right, so I can't activate him for this core activation, which means these 2 activated as a core.
Rallying is really hard, eh?
It is. There's my 2 for these 2 units. Second core activation will be over here with the rest of Ney's core, the Grenadiers and the Hussars.
What fronted your units?
3 centimeters.
I was having trouble visualizing distances. I couldn't work out the distance.
Yeah, you see this thing?
Yeah, no, I've got you. I understood that, but I still couldn't get it in my own mind, being used to seeing the big bases I use.
Oh, I love playing with the bigger bases. I think this one here, that's where I use my 6 centimeters.
We actually use 80 by 60. Looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Masses of figures on a base.
Yep. All right, that's 2 activations. Basically move forward with my Hussars in the open, exposing myself to your fire, as well as my Grenadiers committed. Come over the ridge. They're exposed to your fire. Why is this here? It's Ney. All right, so that's the second core activation. 2 cards. Now I'm going to... Davout is next, I think. No, the cavalry reserve, cavalry units. These guys are going to activate as a core activation. That's the cuirassier and the dragoons.
Right.
And I'm going to charge my cuirassier into your unit that's partially in the woods.
I don't think you can do that, Curtis.
You don't think so? Well, I'm not in the
You've
woods.
got to go into the woods. One corner of your unit is in the wood.
Where?
Isn't it? Oh, I might. Oh, sorry. I thought there was a tree there. My apologies.
It's okay. Yeah, you bring up a good point about that. Cavalry not being able to get in the woods against the enemy. It does kind of protect you. You didn't quite get all the way in. I'm taking advantage of that and moving in such a way that I don't end up in the woods myself. Yeah, so that's that. They charged. That's one activation. This unit also activated. So only got 2 alarm. And I think what I will do, I'm going to move him on the flank of these grenadiers or something. I move up here. Move 4 base widths behind these cuirassiers. So that was 2 momentum. Now right here I'm going to take my penalty. I forgot to take this. This is my penalty from the last turn. I'm going to draw 2 cards to retire that unit in the previous turn that we screwed up. So this is my penalty. Now, all right, Davu. Let's see what I can do. Now this will be halved in momentum points because Davu is there and he is activating the unit he's with. And I'm basically going to activate the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. This unit on the end will charge into your guards in the flank. Unit is going to advance 2 straight ahead. 2 straight ahead. One with Davu is advancing 2 straight ahead. Cannon will also advance 2 straight ahead. And cavalry, which are in reserve, they can use a reserve move. They haven't been spotted. What is this for? I'm going to. I don't know if I can reach. Keep out of your distance. Yeah, they're very tight. I'm not going to move them. It's too close. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units activated, half rounded up, or is it a minimum of 2, Bob? For Nay or Davu. He's got I think it's rounded up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activations, halved. It's going to be. You know what? Let me look that up. Sorry, Vince.
No problem, man.
Just need to double check. Subcommanders. Special abilities. This is called. Is it vigorous? I think it's vigorous.
Yeah, vigorous is half his core. Pays half price, I think, isn't it?
Rounding up any fraction. Not less than 2. So it'd be 3. He activated 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half is 2.5. Rounded up is 3 points. It'll cost him 3 momentum. Still good. Yeah, I think that's it with my core activations. I'll go to individual activation.
Curtis, before you finished, didn't you particularly keep Nay back to try and raise the morale of one of them, the Elan of one of them units? You haven't done that.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. I just finished my core activations. Now I'm going to the individual.
Right.
So he's next. I'm going to try and rally this unit, so he's going to activate. I need a 4+, I believe. 4 plus.
Yep.
6. So there's 3 elan, goes up to 4 for this unit. Now, I believe I'm further than 2 away from your enemy units, so I don't have to make a risk test. And what else? That cost me 2. Cavalry. I want to move this unit of hussars, a full 4 up this way. Close to your guns, Vince. Still not in canister range. That cost me 2. And this cavalry unit as well will activate individually. Same kind of tactic. I'm going to move 4 up in this direction. And that's going to cost me 2. And there it is, Joker. Second to last card, folks. That was pretty good. I got a lot done. Okay, shooting, Vince. Moved, blah, blah, blah. Not going to shoot my cannon. Nothing to shoot at. Right here, my Saxons are going to return fire. I have a line 3, long range. It's going to be half rounded up. 2 dice. I'm going to need 6s. Right down here, this unit is firing on your guards. With the Toli, you got 1 elan. I got 3. I'm going to roll 2 dice in total. I need 6s. Nothing.
Great.
This unit, I don't think can shoot too far away. This unit is engaged in close combat. The French infantry on the flank. So I can't shoot with him. And I believe that's it for my shooting. Yes, it is. Close assault.
It's not the flank, is it? Isn't he prepared?
Oh yeah, you're right. No flank. You are prepared. You have no flanks. Good catch, Ian. Good catch.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm learning.
I would have spotted it. It's got a big damn yellow chip there. But I didn't see it. Anyway, it's not going to matter. I've got you, Vince, here. Close assaults. Let's start up here in the north. This unit, the defender, the Russian unit, has 1 elan. You're not flanked in this situation. So you're going to roll 1 dice, plus you have steadfast ability. You're going to be rolling 2 dice. You need 4 pluses with 2 dice.
Nothing.
Okay, the French have full elan of 6. It's all just... And they're going to need 4 pluses. No special modifiers. And they need 4 pluses. They get 1, 2. 2 to 0, which breaks you. You only had 1 elan. And I will take 1 fatigue. 1 elan loss. Just for fighting. So my 6 drops to 5. And I will advance. 1 base width straight forward. Option if you win the combat as the attacker. Active side. Next assault. Let's come down here. We've got one here. We've got the Grenadiers who are in prepared position. 1 elan. They were just charged by some French infantry. I thought was the flank, but it's not because the Russians are in prepared position. Pictured as a square, kind of. Not necessarily a square, but they're prepared. Vince, you have 1 elan. 1 dice plus steadfast gives you 2 dice. You need 4 pluses.
1 success.
French are fresh. They have 6 elan. They need 4 pluses. No other modifiers. And they score 3. 3 to your 1. The defender takes the difference, which is 2, which breaks you. You only had 1 Elan left. Grenadiers are gone. And I take 1 Elan loss myself and can advance. So their 6 becomes 5. I will advance. 1 base width forward. Straight ahead. Lost 2 units, Vince. Up here we have another close combat. We got the cavalry, the cuirassier charging your Russians partially in the woods. You're going to be rolling a full Elan of 6. Wait a minute.
The cavalry dice is the other side of the road, Curtis.
Thank
You
you.
left it behind.
I'm always doing that, ain't I, Ian?
Yeah, you've done it with the dice pod as well, behind that infantry. You just move forward. You want to move it back behind it again. You know the infantry from Davao?
This?
Yeah, back behind the first unit. That's it.
Good. All right. Let's go back to this combat. Vince, you're going to roll your full Elan of 6.
Do I add 1 for steadfast?
Yes, you're going to add 1 for steadfast, and then you're going to deduct 1 for being in difficult terrain.
Right.
It's just 6 dice. Rerolling successes.
Of course. Oops. So that's 2 successes.
2 successes, folks. I got to beat 2 successes. All right, the cuirassier currently they are at 5 Elan. They have shock, which gives them another dice. They're not in the difficult terrain, so no penalty. And I don't have to re-roll my dice either, like Vince. I have to beat 2 successes. 4 plus is a success. Scored 3 successes to his 2. I win by 1. Defender takes the difference in fatigue loss.
So at least that's just 1. That ain't too bad.
Yeah, you take 1 each and he retires.
Hopefully I'll be
You
able to
retire.
counterattack.
You retire.
Now the attacker, that's me. I take a loss. My 5 drops to a 4. And I will have to retreat, basically bouncing off the infantry. Facing you. Interesting. I didn't fare too well on that one. Anyway, I think that's it for the close assaults. Yeah. All right, so that's the status phase. All my stuff is on. That's about it. We're going to go to the Russians. We'll turn ahead. Turn 22 is about to begin. Now, Vince, you have taken 7 losses. Now, your break point is 10 at the moment.
Yeah,
The French have taken 2 losses. Their break point is 8.
I anticipate having an 8 loss because of the Grenadiers that I can't really pull back. I still have at least 4 turns to hold on, so this is going to be hard.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Can you see the deck of cards here?
Yeah, I can.
The town is burning.
Right, so I'll start off as a core activation for my reserve corp at the south.
What do I do?
I'll continue moving my troops towards the village. You know that.
You've got a problem on distances here.
Sorry.
You've got a problem on activation distances there.
Yeah, I know
A
it's
lot
gonna
of
be hard.
separation.
Hopefully, there's no Joker popping up soon.
You want to move him forward towards the woods, or go prepared, or what? You got cavalry here that bounced off you previously.
Yeah, and go. Them guys are gonna go prepared.
All right. You're at 5 align. Cavalry opposing you is at 4.
He can't charge you if you're in the woods.
Yeah, if you want, Vince, you can actually move in the woods and you'll be even safer. You can't do
Alright,
that.
so
You're halfway in the woods, so it's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I understand. So yeah, I'll definitely move into the woods.
I'll keep you facing this way because it's not going to matter. You're going to be moving one base width anyway. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, and that's about it. I think this unit as well was in distance. I think.
But it was out of range.
Yeah, it's out. It's out of distance. So that's the end of your activation with this core. 1, 2, 3. What's no more core here? Not here. You got this right here. You got these 2 units, which can be activated together. They're just within distance to activate together. These 2 units, Vince. They're from that central core.
How big is that built-up area? Is that just one base module, or is that a force?
This one is whatever I could fit, and what I'm counting it as is 2 by 2. So it's, if you can imagine, it's inside here. 1, 2,
So
1.
4 units.
Yeah, 4 units max. Pretty big. What is that, a town or a city? I think it's a city.
Oh, that's a city.
Yeah, well, on the map it was actually a town, so this is bigger than it should be. So that's all right.
So,
Still counts as 1 victory point, though.
but these units that you just pointed me, the core can fire on infantry, right?
What? What was that, Vince?
The core that you just pointed me out, they can fire on targets, right?
This one here is. Yeah, he's within range of the cavalry, long range. Your dice will be halved regardless. This unit here. Yeah, against the cavalry, not the grenadiers, but the cavalry.
But the units on its flank,
Yeah, the grenadiers too, both of them.
no, that unit that you were just checking out, is their unit on their flanks at in charge range?
This unit?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll pull them back.
All right. What about the other unit? What are you doing?
I'll pull them back too. I just want to try prevent a flank charge.
You still want to be facing me, right?
Yeah. Can they move within the... Oh yeah, it's a difficult maneuver. Never mind. So that's it for that core?
You got the Joker again.
Ah, shit.
Yes. Oh, sorry, my friend. Hey, you're suffering with the command rolls here. Command cards, or whatever you want to call them. Your momentum. All right, you're going to go to your shooting. These 2 moved. You've got this cannon with 1 shot left. You want to have this unit that's prepared, but it can't target anyone. The only thing you have to shoot with is this cannon. And this unit of guards with Natoli in command. That's it.
So that's on to shooting phase.
Shooting phase. You want to save your artillery for blast, or do you want to shoot with them? He's in
No,
range
shoot
of these
them.
cavalry.
If he doesn't shoot with them, then you'll charge him and they'll break him for sure.
Well,
Well,
he's on his last shot. He's going to
They
be
can
gone.
fire when they
Yeah,
charge.
so if he shoots it, he just takes it off the table.
All long range. You got this cavalry unit and this cavalry unit as targets. If you do fire, it's your last shot and will be removed from the tabletop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're rolling 3 dice, and it will be halved against cavalry. Or no, it's not halved against cavalry. Sorry, you get your 3 dice.
So I'll fire on the cavalry coming from the stream. I don't know who pointed out that. I don't want to lose any more units now.
You want to shoot with the cannon.
Yes.
All right, which target? This one?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
All right, you're going to roll 3 dice. Need 6.
1 hit.
Milan 3 drops to 2.
Awesome.
Wow, is that the last shot of that cannon? It fires with 3.
That's the Russians.
Wow, never played with the Russians. That's impressive.
The Russians are nasty with artillery because every ammo shot, every ammo category is basically 1 higher than typical, like for the French.
Yeah.
Like here's a Russian artillery card. I think you can see that.
Yeah, I was aware of it. I just hadn't seen it in action and thought about it, to be honest.
6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. That's nasty.
Yeah.
Everybody else is 1 less than that. There you go, Vince. You knocked him down to 2 Elan. He's now withdrawn, retired from the battlefield. You have 1 last unit to shoot with. These guards down here, they have 1 Elan. You can target Saxons directly in front of you. Long range. You roll 1 dice.
The 5 doesn't hit.
Nothing. And that's the end of shooting. Go to close assaults. There is none. So it goes to the French turn.
What turn is it?
It is turn 24.
No, it can't be, can it? Because the Russians are even numbers.
You're right. It's turn 23. Sorry. Turn 23. I'm the odds. You're the evens.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ian.
You're nearly doing yourself out of a turn there, Curtis.
I almost did.
So you have 4 turns left, Curtis, yeah?
Stop. Will you stop? I don't want to know. You're putting pressure on me now. Keep in mind, Vince, you win this battle. As long as you hold on to this village and I don't break, or you don't break, you're going to win the battle.
Yeah, the only trouble now is I'm even more closer to my breaking point.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you can afford to lose 2 more units. 3 will break you.
Yeah, but you can discount Davu's score because it's too far away. In 4 moves, it's only going to cover at very best 16, 8.
Now, I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to think that way. Stop.
Yeah, don't worry. As long as I don't break, I'm pretty sure I'll hold out the village.
He doesn't know this. He doesn't know yet. As far as he's concerned, we can take that village.
And I'm pretty sure those grenadiers will be stubborn as hell in that town. From what I heard, they shot 10 dice in attack. So
Yeah, it'd be like 10 on defense.
yeah, because I have.
Trying to take a town with less than 3 units is really difficult.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well, to the pretty beat up, you know, his cavalry is useless against the town, and I mean they're not Ulan 5 or 6 troops right now, so
But the cavalry
yes.
can't attack the town anyway.
Yeah, so the
No, they can't charge in the town, so they can't attack you.
the only thing I want to do is prevent the cavalry from directly overrunning my infantry, so I don't break, so he doesn't break more units. So that's why I'm just trying to dish out on the unit of cavalry that just crossed the stream.
All right.
Hopefully,
Core activations. This unit of cavalry can see this unit full strength. I am going to charge it frontally with my cavalry. This is individual activations. Hopefully I don't screw myself here. This unit of infantry will also charge. It won't be a flank attack. You are infantry, I can do this. That's going to cost me 2 more. This unit of cavalry will activate individually.
why did the unit of cavalry just charge my infantry?
Yes.
Oh shit, I didn't saw those. Oops.
You're full strength, eh?
Yeah, you're at full strength and you're steadfast. Hang in there, Vince. This unit is going to make a difficult move. This unit of cavalry. Wait a minute. All right, my grenadiers are going to move. Coming off the hill. That's 2 more. All right. Enough of this nonsense. Cuirassier will activate individually.
Please God, let it be a joker next time. Last thing I need is more cavalry hitting on my infantry.
2 base wits coming out of the stream. Davout's units. This unit right here individually activates and charges the flank of your guards.
Why not just fire, Kurt? You'll kill him. They're French for skirmishers, yeah?
Yeah, I could have. I just want to get ahead. I want to move. I do. I'll be able to move 2 in the contact and then advance when I destroy them. So, but that's it. I just pulled the Joker, so. That's it, Vince. Gonna go right to shooting. There's the deck. All right, shooting. Blah blah blah. Nothing, because everything up here moved. Down here we got cavalry that can't shoot. The guards are engaged in melee. I can't shoot at them, so I guess there's no shooting unless I want to open up with a cannon. I'll save that. Yeah, we're gonna go right to close combats. Right here, Vince, starting in the north, your 1 infantry brigade, full strength, has just been engaged by my light cavalry and a brigade of infantry, French infantry, frontally in all cases. You will have to re-roll successes because you're fighting cavalry.
Yep. So that's 7 dice.
You're going to be rolling 6 plus 1 is 7.
That's no good.
That's 4 dice.
Ouch.
No. That's 7 dice, and you re-roll the successes.
Yeah, that's what I did. Some of
No
the dice
good.
were off. Yeah, some of the dice were off camera, so that's why. I got nothing.
Nothing?
Not a single hit.
Vince. All right, the cavalry is 6.
My dice hate me today.
Oh,
I'm used to it.
7 dice. You didn't get 1, 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah, I got 3 hits and rerolled and got only 1.
Ah,
2, 3
right.
Ouch. All right, here's all my dice. It's basically 6 and 5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need 4 pluses. I got 3, 4, 5, 6 to 0.
Okay.
You took 6. That breaks your unit.
Ouch.
Each mine take 1.
I don't trust my men in assault since 2 days for a reason.
Ah, here we go. I don't have to retreat because I was fighting infantry because I broke you. Yay, no kidding. All right, 4. The infantry are knocked down to 4. The cavalry are knocked down to 5. It's another unit, Vince. That was pretty lucky on my part that you didn't do anything. That was horrible.
Yeah, well, these things happens, you know.
Yeah, they do. There's still hope.
So I'm break point of 8 right now.
And I'll advance with my infantry. One base width. All right, down here, your guard's making the last stand. You're pretty much done in here. You're gonna roll 1. Rerolling success. No, you don't have a flank. That's right. Just roll 1 dice. +1 for steadfast. 2 dice. No, 3 dice. No, 2 dice. Sorry, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2.
1 hit.
Okay, I'm rolling 6. Uh, 4. You lose. Broken. I take 1. That drops to 5 Elan. And I will advance. And just for good measure, I'll see if Tolly's wounded. Doesn't matter because you don't have any more units on the
Only
table.
roll if you actually did anything in the combat. Otherwise, it's just taken off the board and brought back on next go. He wasn't giving any pluses in the combat.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't. If he's with a unit that's broken, he's considered at risk though.
Only if he took part in the combat, which he didn't. He rides off and comes back and joins
So you
another.
mean he has to use an ability in the combat?
Yeah. Yep. I can read it to you.
Please do. I'm getting my book.
It's under ADCs.
What page?
I'm looking for it now.
Oh my.
My rules are falling apart.
Take your book out, Ian. Doing some rules consulting here.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you better. All right. I'm on page 90.
If a unit breaks or retires, the marker is removed from the table and can be attached again in that side's next turn.
All right. Look down where it says at risk. It
Page
says,
94.
yeah, 94 under at risk. A sub-commander is at risk if the unit to which he is attached is broken, or when he uses a personality that specifically places him at risk.
Didn't see that. Okay, fair enough. That's a new one on me. I missed that.
Yeah, so he's at risk then, and he's broken with a unit that's broken, which is a die roll, which I'll roll. 6, he's gone. Not that it matters, because he has no more commands. Good fun. Alright, so Detoli is out of the battle pretty much. There's no more units in his core. He survived, he wasn't wounded. Can't imagine. That's that. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's at 9 breakpoints. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did he lose any other units? There was these 2 guard units, and then there was these 2 infantry units. Is there anything else? His artillery went off. They weren't broken. I don't think so. Alright, so he's at 9 breakpoints then.
He's only got 10 units on the table, isn't he?
I didn't count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wow. 1, 2,
No, 8 units.
8. Wow.
Has he retired, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he retired his artillery.
Which doesn't.
Yeah, he got some of his guard Cossacks off the board. Yeah. Wow. So I have to basically break one more unit, and his army will withdraw from the battle. That will be it. And I've only lost 2 units. You there, Vince? I don't think he's ever coming back again. What do you guys think so far?
It's looking a bit shaky now for him, even holding the village. Because he's got units spread out. You've got him surrounded, basically. He's on hiding to nothing now.
If he hadn't have retreated those infantry units, the 2 that there, if he'd left them in prepared positions, you wouldn't have won that melee. Because your cavalry would have charged a prepared unit, and the other one, and he would have thrown 7 full dice against you.
I mean, I didn't saw that it was cavalry, so if I were prepared and plus I would have no flanks, so the infantry could have gone in my flanks.
He didn't flank with the infantry. Your problem was re-rolling the successes.
Yeah, he's right. If you had gone it prepared, it would have been perfect instead of pulling back.
Because not only might you have won the melee, he would have had to retire even if he won.
I will say one thing is this right here was just bad luck. You rolled a lot of dice and didn't get even not even one.
He didn't need many. He only needed a couple just to stay there.
So there's the situation, Vince. You're still winning. You can afford to. Well, you can't afford to take any more losses.
Yeah,
You have a full strength unit. You have a full strength unit, a full strength unit garrisoning, and all of your reserve which are pretty much almost full strength, all of them. You're taking a little casualties here and there, but nothing is going to run away too quick. And that's about it. I think we counted 8 units around the battlefield for the Russians. And it is now turn 24. So the French are going to try and break you.
And they have 3 turns to do it.
I'm not giving you any more advice at this point. Up to you if it's. You got 1 unit right here surrounded. His only route of escape is, I'm not saying. And your reserve is coming up over here, across the river, across the stream.
Can the unit get into the village?
No.
Oh, shit.
Well, it's going to be a slow move. You're going to be in difficult ground until you're garrisoned, which is basically going prepared.
But there's cavalry everywhere, so I'm gonna just prepare the unit.
Yeah, your 1 move would take you to the edge here. No, you get a little bit in, but that's it. You have to get completely in there before I'll let you garrison. And that's going to take at least 2 turns.
Yeah, I know you're gonna charge me way before that. So I'm gonna have to prepare
If
them.
you try to move in, you'll be flanked and in the open, even though part of you's inside.
Yeah, so I'll do what I was thinking first. And just prepare them.
Oh, and by the way, Detoli survived, and he can't be brought back. His core is gone. So that's that. I don't know what he's going to tell the Tsar. Prepared.
Sorry, sire. But General was drunk. We were flanked.
I think we agreed last night that the problem was he wasn't drunk.
He's not drunk, yeah.
Yeah, right. Was sober, yeah. You know what sober Russians do.
All right, what do you want to do? You want to charge out of the difficult garrison position and attack my cav?
Please.
That does sound like an interesting idea for
No, Vince, I was only kidding.
someone with an IQ of 2.
Yeah. You get a
But
plus
the
1 for
question
being
is,
shock, but you're not going to reach him. Oh, yeah, you might. Yeah, you would.
fire at outside from the garrison?
I wouldn't do it. I'd hold on to that. But I think you might actually be successful. You'd be hitting cavalry in the flank. You'd have a plus 1 for shock. You'd probably have a minus 1. Part of you would still be in the difficult ground. I'm sure.
And he'd have to re-roll exit. His success.
Yeah. Yeah, but he flanks him. He'd have to re-roll too, wouldn't he?
No, it's half. Doesn't it count half a flank attack? I'm not sure.
Half is re-roll. If
I'm
you're
getting
hitting
my
flank, you have to
I
re-roll.
think it's re-roll as well. It is re-roll, yeah.
Well, honestly, I have absolutely no plans whatsoever to get them out. So
Okay. Just an idea.
what I will do is go south and move out with these units. What I'll do is start.
If you use Kachusov there, you'll probably be able to move that whole core.
Yeah, I think I can do a core activation for 4 units in the woods.
All right, we activated him first, but I'll let you off the hook on that. So,
No, if he uses Kachusov, he can do a commando activation and move almost all of them.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's the distance on that? 4?
2 base widths. 2 base widths, and he can be placed anywhere. He doesn't have to be with a unit. He can be in the open.
Is it 2 or 4? I didn't hear you.
2. Wouldn't he do better to bring it further south to where you're going now, If you put him, there's a stone somewhere here, just at the bottom of the wood, or something I can see. This little, just at the bottom of the wood. If you bring him there, so that this bottom unit's in contact, he can move those four.
These guys?
No, the other guys.
All right, now I'm confused.
The cavalry, this cavalry unit, which is out on its own, if you put him halfway between that and the other guys, will you not be able to activate all four? Leave the one that's in front, because it will just go too far in front of the others if you do that.
Well, I could activate these guys. Is that what you're saying? Activate these four?
No, activate the other four. Those three and the bottom cavalry unit.
All right, this one. All right. What do you think, Vince?
Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to do. Because the first unit of cavalry, I don't want it to go out without support.
From that position, as far as I could get, you could activate this unit and these 3 infantry units.
Yeah.
Not the cavalry, but these 3.
Sorry, does doing that not end his turn though?
It does.
Yes, it
Well,
does.
you could take the chance with a core activation or an individual activation, however we want to rule it, because he did do something here. But this guarantees he's going to get all those units to move. So let's either do this, end your turn, and get all these activated. You can take an activation individually with this one first.
Dodgy.
You've only got 2 cards pulled. And I don't know if the Joker's going to be the next cards pulled. And then use your command activation to get the rest of these guys, these 4 units. Go ahead.
Yep.
All right, so let's do an individual activation with this cavalry unit first.
Right, so what I want to do is just move a bit to get out of the wood and leave some space for... yeah, right.
I hope the Joker doesn't come up.
Yeah, and
Right here.
So I'm screwed.
No, you're good. You're good. Now, you want to use that command activation for these 4 units.
Yeah, I want desperately.
You also have this unit. You could take another risk. It'll cost you 2 more cards. And
No,
then
I'll
you
leave
can
them
command
prepared.
activation.
That's going to
Because-
take some breaking in 3 moves.
All right, core activate or command activation. Kutuzov comes down. It's also a mobile. I don't think it's going to matter. So these units will activate and move across the stream through the woods to the stream. Far as I can
Quite
get.
interested playing with the smaller cavalry bases. I'm used to huge swooping cavalry moves for 4 base widths of 80, so it's changed completely.
It does. I've noticed that too. Yeah, Kutuzov is marked as 3, I guess. He can't do that again for another 3 turns or something like that. He's immobile. He's in a wheelchair. All right, so there you go. Your turn ends. You go right to shooting. You got him. He went prepared. They can't shoot. They're in that damn village.
Does the going prepared count as movement?
Going prepared doesn't count as movement. No.
So he could fire with that.
Yep.
Yep. Which was interesting. Yeah, they're out of arc, I think. Yeah. The only problem with this infantry down here, Vince, is they're out of arc, out of range, and they're just sitting there prepared.
Well, if they move, will they survive?
Oh, you got this cuirassier here. That's about it.
I cannot afford any more losses, and so far they're pretty useless for the battle, so I have to leave them there.
Alright, so shooting that we'll jump right to close assaults. I don't think there is any. That ends the turn for the Russians. Well, it goes right to French. Easy enough. Alright, activations. If you hadn't have done that, I probably would have charged you with my cavalry. This unit and this unit of infantry, you'd be in big trouble there. But now I have to kind of sit and think.
This time I saw the cavalry. So, can the unit that prepared the village fire at the unit of infantry?
What was that?
Well, the unit that just prepared in front of the village, can they fire at anything?
Well, you just went prepared. Oh yeah, you can shoot. I'm sorry,
Right.
you were saying
Which way is he facing?
he's facing this way. Yeah, you can shoot at the cavalry, and that's it.
Okay, so I'll fire at them. So that is 3 dice.
Yeah, 6 halved for shooting at cavalry. 3 dice and 6s.
1 hit.
Alright, this drops to 4. Alright, now it goes to the French. Alright. I'm gonna go for it here. I'm gonna do a core activation with Ney's core. This unit will charge into the flank of this infantry. Well, they're prepared. There's no flank. The cavalry will also charge. These cavalry will also charge. It's my cuirassier with 6 elan.
Ouch. Hopefully the French get their asses kicked.
All right, wait a minute. Screwed up there. This was a core activation. That cost 2. This unit also was part of that activation. Let me move them. That'll be 3. So there's my 3 for that. And then I jumped ahead and I advanced him, which was an individual activation. And I hit a joker. So that's all I managed to pull off. A massive attack on those Russians in front of the village.
Hold your ground, man.
Alright, let me do my shooting if I have any. I'm going to open up with my artillery from Davout. This will be their 3rd shot, and they're going to fire on these prepared infantry at long range.
Oh yeah, you have cannons. Oops. Forgot about that.
I just spotted them myself. I forgot myself. So it's long range. You're prepared. So I'm going to get hits on 5 as well. My 3rd shot? Yeah. 4 dice. First 5 and any 6s are hit. 5.
That is only 1 hit.
Drops to 5.
Hopefully they'll survive till the end.
Where's your grenadiers? One of these units is grenadiers. I think it's this one.
Yeah.
The white flag.
Okay.
That's the only shooting I got, so I think we could jump right into the results. You ready for this, Vince? This could tell the game right here, folks. We got a full-strength Russian brigade sitting in front of the gates of the village, and they're in prepared position here, so they're ready for this. And they were just assaulted by a unit of cuirassiers at 6 strength, a 4 elan unit of hussars to the front. Well, it's no flanks on this prepared thing. And a unit of French infantry, 4 elan. So your defense is going to be 6 dice, plus 1 for steadfast. You'll re-roll we both re-roll our, well, this guy's going to re-roll his, he's going to re-roll his, and you're going to re-roll.
Why has he got to re-roll?
The infantry won't.
Now, why will Kevin's infantry have to re-roll? He's prepared.
Yeah, he's prepared. My cavalry have to re-roll.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you said the Russians had to re-roll as well.
Oh, yeah, the Russians don't because they don't have a flank.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, Vince. You don't have to. So, 7 dice.
3 hits.
3 hits.
I was anticipating a heroic moment with 6 or 7 hits, but...
All right, these cavalry was 6 elan plus 1 for shock.
I guess it's too much to ask you the performance of sober Russians.
I have to re-roll these, Vince.
Right.
It's 2 from the cuirassier. They have to be re-rolled. None. Uh-oh. This unit of hussars, they got elan 4. They won't have shock. They have to re-roll.
I've just had a shock here and spilled water all over my bloody self.
It's 2. That's 2. I got 2. And finally, the infantry with 4 elan. No other modifiers. This is it, folks. I don't think I'm going to do it. Everybody's got to retreat. And 2 more hits. So the results. The defender lost. He will take 1 elan hit. The 6 drops to a 5. Now this unit of cuirassier loses. I won, right? Yeah, I won.
You just lose 1 point on each unit.
So he drops to 5. Have to retreat. This light cavalry drops to 3. They'll have to retreat. Infantry drops to 3. They will have to retreat.
This is a rule that I've got a problem with.
Yeah.
My group has. We can understand why cavalry have to rally back, but why would the infantry rally back as well?
It's what I thought too. I mean, the cavalry, it's logical. I mean, they fight on the move, that's what they do, but I didn't know infantry in Napoleonic time always did hit and runs.
I don't know. I guess it's you're trying to limit the combined arms operations of troops. And this is one way to do that. You know, it's effective against infantry anyway, to attack with cavalry and infantry. But the problem is that everybody has to fall back.
Retreat.
Is it not just the fact that you're talking about the likes of column attacks against a position and the attacks failed, it's not succeeded, and therefore the troops that are attacking have been driven
But it
off?
has they won the combat.
Right, okay. Yeah, so why would they retreat if they've won?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
there's
the thing.
more of them for one. It's the cavalry. I don't have a problem with the cavalry bouncing back. That's no issue.
No, I don't.
Infantry.
Well,
But you know what you're doing is if you let these infantry stay in contact and fight, you're promoting that combined arms attack. It's going to be even probably more devastating than it should be. I mean, what would happen? They stay in contact. What do you do next? Somebody has to retreat. Rules-wise, you'd have an issue because everything, breaks off or gets destroyed. There's never a continued
Yeah, it's one of
contact.
the few rules that my group argue about still. We can't make our minds up on that one.
Yeah. It's interesting, that's for sure. Okay, Vince, here's the situation. My combined attack didn't do very much against your Russians at all. You held your own quite well. Take note, that's because you went prepared. It's a very powerful position to be in,
Right.
especially against the cavalry, as you'd expect.
Well, even against infantry, you know,
Yeah, no flank.
I keep forgetting that I have no flank with that.
The only disadvantage that I know of is just that you are a better target against cannon.
Yeah, and so far that just happened once, and I don't even think the guns will take them at the south.
Trying to move up my guns. Alright, I believe that's it. No more close assaults. Yeah, that's it. Alright, folks, I failed. I weakened them, but not by much.
Yeah, they'll hold. Hopefully.
All you have to do, Vince, is hold on. You got it, man. You got it. You got this. This will be amazing. You're gonna get your reserve across the stream just in time, while your infantry is holding out in prepared position at the gates. Wow! I can't get in the village in time. My
Sorry, thanks,
grenadiers.
Russians, turn 26.
Yeah, get ready for my grenadiers. I'm coming. All right.
Really interesting. You got 3 moves to break 1 infantry unit.
Oh. Ah. Is that it? Yeah. All right, Russians. Ready, Vince?
Yes, sir.
All right, where would you like to start? You do have, let me check your distances here. These should be okay. Yeah. You got a core activation with these 3 units, and that's it. You've got your cavalry here. You got your guard Cossacks way back here. They're still green. Everybody's going to be slowed, actually, except for this 1 unit of cavalry. All you have. So I'm assuming you want to leave him prepared.
Yeah, I will. So what I want to do is do a core activation for my reserve unit.
Right, these 3 units of infantry. Grenadier, 2 line.
Yeah, I'm gonna start moving them towards the village. You know, try to cross the streams as much as they can.
Oops, I moved you too far. There, you're out of the stream. Grenadiers.
Great.
This unit is in the way. See if I can get you up. No, I can't. You have to move a long way because your cavalry's in the way. You're about there. Unfortunately, you're still in the stream. There's cavalry in the way. Yeah, these are slow going. Okay, that's your activation with the core. Why is he so far ahead? I think I moved him too far. Alright, they're still within distance for your next turn. Alright, that's 3.
Okay, so next up, it will be my cavalry that cross the stream. Can they charge?
No. They're about 5 away from the rear of my cavalry. So just out of distance.
What is the Ulan value of your 2 cavalry units in front of the village?
2, 5.
Okay, there. And those are cuirassiers, right?
This unit here is hussars. This unit here has shock. That is cuirassier.
Well, how about the unit of Cossacks at the complete south cross in the stream? Yeah, I'll move this one forward towards the village, at the from the.
I would. Is that as a corps or is that as an individual?
No, I'm finished with my course.
Right. I would do the other cavalry first because it's more likely to be of use.
Well, the thing is, the other unit of cavalry in the north, they're charging some cuirassiers and.
Yeah, but you're behind them, so even if you moved like a decent move towards them, you could charge either in the rear.
I think this turn I can charge.
I can't charge you because I'm facing this way. I have to move and turn around, so I'm not going to charge you in the next turn. You have an advantage here on me. Both cavalry units are facing that infantry unit.
Oh yeah, right. I'm mixing up rules.
So these guys are now on the rear of these. Well, they're safe in the next turn, French turn. I'm not going to get charged unless this guy can reach it.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm mixing up some rules, and some of the games I wrote, the cavalry can do difficult maneuvers and turn around more easily.
All right, let me move you a little bit over here because you are in range.
Whereas the other unit that's further back isn't really going to be able to do anything, so I would move the one that is useful first in case you get the joker.
Yeah, what I had in mind is they could the 2 units of cavalry could turn around and do a massive charge.
I don't think so.
Is this okay, Vince? Do you want me to take him back?
No, it's perfect like that. I wanted to do that in the first place, but I wasn't sure because of the cavalry, you know.
Right. Clear the bad terrain. So we've got this unit, and obviously this unit out of that terrain, that mess. But these 2 are still slowed. So your grenadiers, guard Cossacks, and your cavalry ready to get moving. Still good. We've got this unit down here in prepared position. Enemy cuirassier within charge distance of you. Within a line of 4. You have a big advantage here. You're safe. Same situation here.
Just to know, can units prepare the pivot and still keep the prepared position?
No.
No, you have to move if you want to change your facing. That'll take you out of prepared.
Yeah, we're so used to the rules where you know, prepared units can fire in all arcs. You know, they do squares and stuff. I'm still not
You
used
got to
to it.
remember, Vince, this is a brigade. It's not necessarily one giant square. There's a lot of things going on with prepared marker.
Yeah, it's a different scale of game that I never played before, so I'm not used to it.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be square. It can actually represent one of the Austrian battalion en masse, where they've got the groups in big thick columns facing out.
Yeah, so that's right. It can be anything, you know.
One of the hardest things with Blucher is to visualize what a unit is. That we found that the most difficult thing to get hold of.
Yeah, I was confused. I mean, like at first I thought the brigade was comprised of multiple units, and units were battalions and stuff. So, but it's becoming clearer now.
Well, here, Vince, look at that little picture. That's kind of similar. You got those units all lined up separate, skirmishers in the front. It's all kinds of things. It gives you an idea.
Yeah, I think the Blucher game could be played well to 6 mil and represent, like on a base you can do multiple battalions and stuff and really look good.
All right,
So
so we're staying in position. Not gonna do anything. Same here.
they're staying, so I don't think I have nothing else to activate.
Okay, that's it. We'll go to your shooting. These guys can shoot if anything is in range. No. Everything's just out of range.
What about the cavalry?
Well, they're
Who's-
outside of the arc.
All right.
Only the grenadiers, and they're a little over 2 base widths away. Down here, same thing. Yeah, that's out of your arc. I can't even see. Catch them. Their arc. Yeah, that's it. Close assaults, none.
So again, nothing can shoot, so I guess it's French turn.
It should be 24, or am I wrong? Is it 24?
26. If I'm correct,
Vince, can you see that on my screen? That's a
Yeah, I
6mm Blucher base.
great. Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. That looks awesome.
Let me get back to my screen.
Yeah, I think I'd do Blucher in 6mm if I were to play that game.
So there's no shooting, Vince.
So it's
No
on to
close
turn
assaults.
26 for the French.
Goes to the French, and the turn is, according to you, 26.
Well, we were at turn 25 for the Russians, or 23, I can't even remember.
No, you're even.
All right, this is
Well, it's either 20 turn. Yeah, it's either turn. Oh, yeah.
25.
Turn 24. So yeah, turn
25.
25.
Turn 25. All right. Well, tough nut to crack now. Can't reach you. Activation with a core, if I can. Wait a minute. Let me check my stuff. Right, core activation, these 3 units. The cavalry and these 2 infantry, one of which is the grenadier. I can't reach you with a charge, but I will get within long range of you. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with these cavalry. These infantry. What I did there is I activated my cavalry, but didn't do anything with them.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3. By the way, these cavalry units that were on from the beginning of the game, they were actually part of this cavalry corps. So they are actually together, these 3. Oh, that's you. I'm sorry. The Russian stars on my rear here, I thought they were mine.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were saying. I was you got me confused.
New cheating is this? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something here. 1, 2. That's a core activation of 2. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to activate the Voo's core. It's just these guys down here. This unit, this cannon, which will not activate. Oh, yeah, just these two. Kind of a waste of time, but I'm going to do it anyway. Minimum 2, even with Dabu. Let me see here. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do it. I'm going to have to come up this way, which I'll do. He's coming out of reserve. It's 6. 10. 11, 12. So he came out of reserve and he went from all the way down here up this way, and that's his 12 base width distance. I can't go that far. He's too close to him. This can be seen. So there. Did I take his cards? Yeah, I did. All right, Nay's gonna. No. It's a cavalry unit. Go up to there. It's 2. Cavalry's right here, here, and here, and here, and here. The Grenadiers moved. They activated. They moved. This unit will activate as an individual now.
Right.
He's going to move 1 into the village. He's not in good shape either, so I don't have much hope for him. Finally, this cannon. He's going to move this full distance. They're facing the south. They'll attempt to rally. No, you know what? He's just gonna. This unit's just gonna move full distance over the hill with Nay. That's 2 more. That's just, all right, shooting. I don't think there's anything. Boy, the battle's really slowed here. Cannon, we'll fire on this prepared Russian infantry unit. This will be its 4th shot.
Right. So you hit it on 5s on the first 5?
Yeah, 3 dice. 2 6s.
Ouch.
5 drops to 3. That's it, I think. Yeah, everything moved. Close combats, there is none. Assaults, rather. Alright, next turn. Turn 26, Vince.
So.
Again, here's your infantry. They're prepared. They have a line 5. They're holding out against the French. 3. Cavalry at 3. Fresh Grenadiers at 7. No shock. Cavalry units here. There's 3 of them. Line 4, line 5, and line 2. The cavalry back here's fresh. And across the river, we got lots of troops. All of DeVoe's corps, of course, the Saxons. More importantly, these 2 cavalry units. This one here is at full strength, 6. This one is dragoons, and they've taken quite a bit of damage. They're at 2. They can't reach you. Your infantry is still stuck, except for the grenadiers and the your Cossack guards. Pretty much the situation. We don't have much to do except to activate these guys as a corps.
Yeah,
Which you
that's
can.
what
4 of them.
with that as a core activation to move up to the village.
This unit, and this unit, and your cavalry. Don't forget these cavalry. They're pretty important at this point. Full strength. They can charge this cavalry unit if you choose to. You can see them, and they are within distance. This one is you can't. I'm not sure if you could reach them. You can do that pivot like that. And by the time you reach, I don't think your center line is going to cross my footprint. So I think that's your only eligible target for charging. And that's it for your cavalry. So you can charge here if you want. I don't see anything else. Yeah. This unit here has 4 a line. This unit will be on your flank, however. If you win this in advance, it won't be a threat because I won't be able to get you. You're not in my zone, even if I turn 45 degrees. I don't even think I could anyway. Maybe. I doubt it. So that's your option. Charge with your cavalry or pull them back or whatever you want. We've got French infantry with 4 elan into the outskirts of the village. They can't charge you. Well, actually, they could. They could actually charge you, but the chances of me winning that assault is pretty much nil.
So, can I prepare the grenadiers?
Oh,
The grenadiers in the town.
they are prepared.
We're already prepared.
Okay. Right. So. This is hard. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my cavalry.
You got two options, three. Stay in place and be charged, pull them back, or charge. Amy? James?
And what is the unit I'm charging? Just SRs?
Just Hussars. They have Elan 4. They're just Hussars. Your unit is basically Hussars as well. You have nothing special. It's just Elan 6 when you charge.
Vince, just to put my 2 pence worth in, if you charge, even if you win, your unit has to fall back, which means you're going to end up probably where you've started, which means you're going to get charged next turn.
He won't have to
fall back. Cavalry won't have to fall back.
Alright, I thought cavalry always
You can
retreated,
actually
even if
advance and get rid of any flank attacks at all.
The only concern if you win this combat, alright, Vince, is going to be this unit here of Cuirassier with 5 Elan. They'll be able to hit you possibly in flank if you advance. That's the only concern if you win this combat. Now, you have Elan 6, they have Elan 4, and it's just going to be 6 dice against 4 dice in this case. So if you don't want to risk it, you have a slight advantage. That's about it.
If I retreat, I'll be charged by other cavalry units anyways, I think.
Well, there's no cavalry down here. Mine is across the stream. If you go this way over here, there's nothing that can reach you. That's his charge reach right there, and he's only got Elan 2.
Okay.
How many units have you lost?
A lot, so I'm gonna pull back my cavalry. I lost 9 units so far, I think.
Yeah, so if you lose that, then that's you. So you want to go as defensive as possible over the next turn or two as you can.
And anyways, what purpose is killing the cavalry now?
None. Yeah.
Exactly.
You've just got to hang out for the next few turns. That's all you've got to do. You've just not got to lose anything in the next 2 or 3 turns. Getty's only got 2 more activations, 2 more turns.
I would. It's a bit of a risk. You want to try and get your infantry that's on the east side of the board into the village if possible.
Can't do it.
Nah, there's not enough movement.
Not this turn, obviously, but.
Well, they moved.
The minute he breaks prepared, he's got 3 cavalry units that will break him.
I'm talking about the units to the south side of the board.
Ah, right.
So he's got 1 infantry unit to the east, then a cavalry, and then an infantry, and then a cavalry behind the river. Is that right?
This is infantry.
Right, okay.
Infantry. These are grenadiers, actually. And his
Curtis
guards.
has got 2 more moves, including this one coming up.
Yeah.
And this unit in the south won't even reach the village in that time, except for the cavalry.
Yeah, what I'm thinking about right now is all the units in the south. I'm just gonna prepare them to, make sure there's no cavalry that's killing me. And I don't think there's much infantry unit that could reach the village and attack my grenadiers within the next turn. So I think I'm just gonna stall everything and prepare everything and just hold on for the longest I can.
Yeah, you just have to hope you don't lose a unit, or else that's you kaput.
Yeah. So, Curtis, do I still have activations?
Yes.
So what I want to do basically is prepare any unit of infantry that is not prepared and retreat the unit of cavalry. Yeah, I'll start with the unit of cavalry. I want to retreat them as far back as I can.
Have you moved that core?
Yeah, that core's already moved.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
right. That's why they're there. Okay. So next turn then. Anyways, I don't think there's much that can charge me that and they're full strength, so they should hold up.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's no point preparing in the stream because you're at a disadvantage in the stream, in the river.
All right, I'm still in the river with some units. Right, I
Yeah.
think so.
I think that's a subtle reminder to get a shift on.
You want to do anything with them, or they hold? Grenadiers, or not grenadiers, but infantry. They're at 3 elan.
They hold.
That's it.
There's no purpose in doing anything else. I think the cavalry will run them down anyways.
Yeah. Come on, Vince. Take a risk.
I'll tell you one thing: I'm the last guy to take risks when it comes
Yes,
to.
you are. Yes, you are. You are. With my experience playing you, you're a very defensive player. Well, except with your guards. Yeah.
Well, it's either I'm super defensive or ridiculously bravado style aggressive, you know. But I think most of my tactics in wargame is always to look at what the enemy is doing and counterattack to that. And the point is, it's always to have the advantage, you know. See but remain unseen. Attack when he can't attack.
3 dice, long range, against my grenadiers in your position. 3 dice, needing 6s.
1 hit.
As the saying go, if you find yourself in a fair fight, your tactics suck.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. There are tactics for when I play medieval games because I love Mongols and sci-fi games. I play Space Mongols and Sisters of Battle. So, except in the Napoleonics and stuff like that, that's where I have to kind of find my tactics because the hit and run and the fight when they cannot fight you doesn't really work in those kinds of fights.
Turn 27. French.
Oh, can't you shoot in the village?
No.
Right.
Not the correct facing, I think.
No, they can't. As long as they're in here, they can't. Your shooting path cannot go through.
I'll say right. Yeah, those French infantry are actually just sort of picking the way through the streets at the moment.
All right, French turn. Here we go, folks. Turn 27. I'm gonna. Oh man. All right. Odds. I'm gonna launch into the guy. With everything I got. Evens. I'm gonna hold back and shoot for a turn. And then engage. So odds. I'm gonna charge in. Evens. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna shoot you. All right. So no activations there. They're close enough to charge you in the next turn. That's that core activation. Nothing. My cannon is going to move up 2. This unit will activate. unit is going to activate this unit will activate and move up to here. Move unit of cuirassier going to move up to here. Base widths, difficult maneuver. Oh, there's the Joker. Alright, gonna go to the shooting. Fire my cannon vents once again. My fifth shot on that unit of prepared infantry. It's going to be 2 dice. I need 6s and a 5. Nothing. Right here, the Grenadiers are going to open up. They have Elan 6. It's going to be long range. They're going to roll 3 dice. They have skirmish ability. So they hit on 5 as well as 6s. Oh, did they move or no? I didn't move them, right?
No, they didn't move.
They're 5. 5, Elan drops to 4. This unit of infantry, Elan 3, I believe it's long range. Or did I move them?
You didn't move any of these.
Going to be short range. 3 dice needing 6s. Nothing. That's it. Cannon moved. That's it. Shooting's done. Close assaults. There's no close assaults. So it goes to the Russian turn. 28.
So let's start off with core activation at the south. So yes, a core activation. I'll prepare my units of infantry. The way I look at it is either way, my infantry in the stream are at disadvantage. If I go out of the stream, I'm in disadvantage, and if I stay there, might as well just stay there and prepare.
Cavalry? Yes, no? What do you want to do?
Cavalry will retreat as far back as they can from your troops.
You want to go this way, or you want to go this way?
Towards the south.
South. Facing the south as well.
So that is that. Oh shit.
Bloody hell.
That's rough. It's a good thing you don't have a lot to do.
Well, I had this other unit of cavalry I wanted to retreat.
Yeah, I was going to say they're a bit vulnerable now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gonna get their asses kicked in the ass. So hopefully they should survive. I think they are outfollowed on.
All right, shooting. We got prepared units. Let's see if they're in range. Doubt it. This unit here can fire on the Grenadiers once again.
Will do.
You have Elan 4 at long range. It's going to be 2 dice, needing 6.
1 hit.
Are you kidding me?
No, sir.
There you go. All right. No more shooting that I can see. It's going to go to close assaults. There is none. It's going to go to the French. Turn 29. This is it. This is it, folks. This is the big hurrah.
The Grenadiers have to break now, or I win.
And I got my cannon set up too.
Yeah, so I guess I could lose a unit too, and I'd be done.
Yeah, but you have to choose: do you fire or do you charge?
I'm charging.
Then you can't use your cannons.
Exactly.
I gotta say, I prefer they would just shoot because it's way riskier. You get way less chance of hurting me, even with a cannon. So.
Yeah, this would be 3 dice needing 6s. Oh, you're prepared. I need 5 or 6.
I would shoot.
Yeah, but this is my last turn.
How many strength points has he got left?
4.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble.
I would charge at that point. That's what I would least.
This is it. I got to charge. I can't take it anymore. Everything's going in.
Alright, you can shoot. You can shoot. I'd love that. Shoot, please.
I'm just going for it. Yeah, I'm going to activate this core here. 3 units. The Grenadiers will charge 5 Elan. These infantry are also going to charge with 3 Elan. My cuirassier will also charge 5 Elan plus shock. They have to reroll. But here's the thing that Bob pointed out. Because I did that, all of my guys have to retreat, which is...
If you don't kill him outright...
Yeah, the whole thing.
So I get to defend with 5 dice.
The advantage here is if I didn't charge him, and I win this fight, even if I didn't destroy him, you're going to have to retreat those Grenadiers, and your back is going to be to me, which sets me up for another attack in the next when I get the chance, hopefully. And you won't
this is
be
your last
prepared.
turn.
No, this is your last turn.
That's the thing. If it wasn't the last turn, I'm not sure I would charge my cavalry. But I don't think I would.
You gotta straight up just kill me that turn.
All right. Anyway, these 2 were part of a core. That was an activation. He had to activate with them, so that's 3. And then this cavalry was an individual activation.
Joker.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That right there is the worst Joker of the game.
Oh well, this is it. Damn.
There is hope for the Russians.
Yep.
Just have to. The only unit has to survive.
Something happened in my command structure. Somebody got shot off his horse.
Yeah, basically at that point I just told my men, be as dirty as you can.
I wanted these guys to charge too. I just didn't get through in time. Let's see, Vince. This is it.
Make a break.
Shooting. Cannon can't target nobody. Nothing here. Nothing. Just this cannon here will fire one last time on your prepared infantry. You have 3 Elan. This is my last final shot, my 6th shot. 2 dice. I need 5 or 6s. Can't destroy you. And I definitely won't destroy you. And that unit is retired. Without ammo. That's the end of shooting. Close assaults. There's only one, and it's right here. The defender. You are prepared. You have 4 plus your steadfast. You have 5 dice to roll. Yeah, 5 dice. You need 4 pluses.
Now's the time to roll a big one, Vince. You've had lousy dice all game. This is the time for a biggie.
So I got 5 dice.
4 plus.
You don't even have to win, you just have to stay alive.
Why wasn't that in shooting? I got 2 hits.
Alright, the cavalry who have to re-roll. They got 5 dice plus 1 Elan. The Grenadiers have Line 5, they don't have shock. Just elites. The infantry have 3 Elan. Nothing special about them. So let's roll the cavalry first, and they have to re-roll successes. 4 pluses.
Ouch.
Look at that one.
Bloody hell.
They all have to be re-rolled.
Oh, thankfully.
Oof.
It's still already losing.
3.
It all comes down to this, folks. Well, I got you by 1. So here's the Grenadiers. They need 4 pluses. Oh. 2. You have 1 more left. 1 Elan left. If I beat you, which I did. Alright, here we go. See how good our infantry did. 4 pluses.
Ouch.
Whoa, that's in.
That hit hard.
You lose the combat by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 4 Elan. It will destroy you. You're broken.
And the army is officially retreating.
And these units take 1 and retreat.
Game's not finished yet, though, is it?
No.
Doesn't end until the end of Curtis's turn, and
I made a mistake again. You're broken, so I don't actually retreat, and I only take 1 Elan loss. And that is because my friend here, Bob, pointed that out, or I would have made that mistake again. Thank you, Bob. Curler man.
Got so much subtlety in this game, it's brilliant.
It is. It really is. I really enjoy it.
And it feels like you're fighting a battle rather than a skirmish.
Yeah. All right. That's the end of the assaults. No advance. That's the end of the French turn. I did not break. So it goes to the Russian turn if you want to finish that.
No, the game's over now.
It is pretty much over. You still technically have another turn, but there's no way you can win.
But why does he have another turn if he's broken?
During your turn, if you break during your turn, in your status phase, that's when you're...
I didn't know that.
So, but the thing is, there's really nothing he can do. He could try and break me, but that's not going to happen until my status phase, and that wouldn't change it.
That's impossible. The Russians, so just at the edge of victory, the Russians decide they had enough.
Yep, they saw the French breaking in. The last defenses outside the village broken. Your cavalry was in retreat. Your infantry took defensive positions, and the advance has ceased. With the ball coming up from the west, it's pretty much your fate is sealed. The village will be abandoned and taken by the French.
As the Russian general yells out, "We're going to have it, man! Hold the line!" And they just say, "Fuck you, man! I got enough of this. We're losing. Can't you see the battle? The French all around." As the French are just at the brink of retreating themselves because the village is untakeable.
Well, there you go. What do you guys think?
Oh, thanks for giving me that last rule. I hadn't realised that you didn't check the brag didn't count until the end of your own turn.
Yeah, that is a tricky one. You really have to read it to be reminded of that. The reason why I caught on to it so quick is because I play Flames of War, and Flames of War works every way. Check during your turn to see if you've lost, not any turn. Not
Yeah,
just
true.
Turn.
You
So
take
that made me think and double check it. Sure enough, I can't see where it changes anything, but I guess maybe.
Well, my point on this was going to be that if he checks at the end of the turn to see if he's lost, at the end of the turn he has custody of the village. So even though the game ends because it's turn 30, he still holds the village.
Yeah, but his army's been broken, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it only gets broken at the end of turn 30, and the game ends at the end of turn 30.
It gets
Look at the
broken into
sequence.
status phase.
Since the game technically earns after the turn 30, then my army breaks like
Right.
before.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
It's like the very last. You look at the order of things you do here in the status phase. Can you see that?
I don't doubt you. I was just wondering
No,
because it's a bit of a.
That's a very interesting point.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just showing you what it says because I'm actually curious if you're correct or if I'm wrong or I'm correct. I don't know. I never thought of that.
It's just the timing of it that the game ends turn 30.
Exactly. The first thing you do in the status phase, it says, is check for reinforcements. Okay. Then you check for army morale. Okay. You just found out the Russians lost. After that, you roll momentum dice for the enemy. That's when it concludes. That's when the turn would conclude. So, at the end of turn 30, the battle ends. And if you
surely it ends in his status phase when his army breaks.
exactly, he would actually lose while he was in this stage right here. Check army morale before it actually happened. Oh yeah, there it is. If we look at it real close, you can see what's going on.
Oh yeah, there would be a procedure, like you said. Most games have got a step-by-step. It was just more the timing of it, because I know you said in that last game that the French didn't lose in the Russian turn. They lost in the French turn.
Very good, Vince. That was a close one.
So that was a brutal fight.
Yeah, if I didn't destroy this unit, you would have won. So
Yeah,
it was more down to that.
it's the kind of game where it was really at the edge.
Yeah, that was a good game. That took it right to the final turn. Wow.
Can you imagine if in turn 20 you'd taken 6 cards out? How difficult it would have been.
Yeah.
What that rule does, it forces you to keep core concentration. So that in the later stages of the game, you need less morale, need less momentum points to move.
Yeah.
Does make sense. They have a similar thing in battle group. As you lose officers, you lose orders dice. So kinda as the game goes on, it becomes harder and harder to get your force to do what you want it to do.
Right.
Yeah, those kinds of mechanics are interesting. The only thing I was trying to implement a mechanic like that, where it's all based on the officers themselves, but since it's in 40k and other games like that, I can't find a way that makes that the enemy can just target the officers automatically and kill them off.
Sniper rifles let you pick any model, do they not?
The interesting thing with Scharnhorst is if you now move on and play something like the 100 Days campaign, which you can download for free, it gets even more interesting because you can have more than one battle on one day and the game plays over after the end of the battle. It makes you play very differently as well. And there's a few rules changes that go with it.
Yeah, I saw that. Very interesting. What'd you think, Ian?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a really good game. I mean, it was, like I've already said, it was down to the wire. That last attack, it was down to those last dice on that last unit. So you can't get much more. You can't get better than that, really.
It was awesome. I don't play much games where the game ends at the very, very last turn, and that was really awesome.
Play more games with me.
Yeah, I'd like to play a Flames of War game with you once. Apparently your games are pretty brutal and bloody.
We've played twice already.
Well, we played an Ancients game, we played a Lord de la Guerre, and we played a mini Flames of War game to test out the system.
Yeah. Art de la Guerre.
l'art de la guerre.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to sign off. I really enjoyed that. I found it really interesting because one thing you get when you watch someone else play, you see different interpretations of the rules, and you realise that they're right and you're wrong. There's a lot of things we've been doing differently to you.
Yeah. It's entertaining and informative. You're looking at it from a totally different standpoint as well. You're observing. You're observing online from multiple camera views. You can see a lot of things that you might not pay attention to normally in a game. It's a different way of looking at it.
Well, I spent today looking through your first two videos, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
We're going to do more. We're going to do lots more.
Well, that's good, and thanks, Curtis, for the battle.
You're welcome.
Hopefully next time I won't be as tired, and if we play, Blucher more, I'll get a better handle of the rules, and so instead of going blind, like I say, I'll be able to fight with better strategies. And
yeah, just practice. You'll get it. You know.
You did well, Vincent, considering that the issue we've got is on this end of the camera is keeping track of what units are where and things. And
yeah.
I think that's where you went wrong at your initial deployment and stuff. You kind of forgot that there was French units elsewhere on the table and things.
yeah,
A disadvantage on the original Scharnhorst setup. He had a strong advantage the way the forces was split, because he would have had 2 squares, 3 squares, all connected. His troops were separated by the mistake he made.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night as well. That the deployment being off kind of
made it much harder because it meant that Kurt was working on interior lines, whereas Vince was working on being separated, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, the only thing is, what I like about the deployment that I had is I had my both flanks secured, and the other zone, at the south of the village, at the south east, it's kind of a crappy field. There's too much rough terrain and all. I hated that spot for my reserves.
It was brutal. Because you got to come in here and you got all this terrain slowing you right down.
But when you're defending, does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have set up a better battle line and take those reserves a bit better, I think. So yeah, either way it would help a bit, and I could have set up my essentially my battle line behind, just around the village, and try to make a solid line with a cavalry reserve and behind to counterattack.
Well, Vince, we're going to do this again. We'll use Scharnhorst again, and we'll try and pay more attention to our movements and deployments. And we won't get that wrong. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so one of the things I said to Curtis, when you were doing the Scharnhorst map movement, French always move first, where in reality, what you should do is you use your reconnaissance points and roll the dice, and the one that wins the reconnaissance roll decides who moves first in the turn, and that can make a big difference to the ground.
That every day?
Every day, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if where you chose to fight the battle, Kurt, if the Russians had moved first, they could have stopped one of your corps getting to the table completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your ideas, especially because it gives even more reason to put cavalry units in scouts.
Another alternative that we use to Scharnhorst to get different types of battles is to do an encounter where you have maybe 4 corps aside, but you start off with only 1 on the table and bring the others on as reserves behind you, using the reserve rule. That works really well, get some exciting battles.
Very interesting.
I must say I do like the narrower units though. It gives you much more room to play on a smaller table.
Did it look all right? I mean, the video, you could see everything. There was no...
You're fine. I followed it fine.
Yeah, I mean, The only the mistakes, I couldn't see a unit of things. They were with me. I didn't pay visually attention too much to the game that much. I'm uh, I'm too much of a auditory person, so especially when I'm the computer, I'm looking at other stuff and doing
You're
other
not paying
things.
attention, Vince. What's the matter with you?
Well, it's just visually, sometimes I don't look at unit completely. So like there's a part where there were cavalry and I didn't really notice them. No,
Well,
because it's
nothing like a real battle. There's a lot of chaos in battle. You're not going to be able to spot everything that you would in a tabletop miniatures game. Anyway, so it's actually a all right thing.
yeah, like I was saying, the only thing is because on the webcam, since it's a webcam, you have to look a bit closer sometimes to see if it's cavalry or infantry.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good.
Me too.
We'll do this.
Yeah, for the first time, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cheers, guys. I'll keep my eyes open for any more battles you've got.
Okay, my friend. Take care.
I'll see you.
Later.
See. That was good. I like how it went right to the end.
Hmm.
Down to the wire.
Yep. Down to that one unit. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, that was a stressful battle. It was awesome.
I gotta admit, I've never once yet, I've played quite a few games in the past month plus. I've never been disappointed in the results of a battle so far with these rules. It feels right. It progresses right. Uh, yeah. For a grand tactical level game, it's really good. I must say. There it is, folks. Blucher. Go out and grab it. It's pretty fun, pretty enjoyable.
Have you gone in depth with the Punk Battles, the 4th edition that you bought?
I haven't read it recently. I'm working my way through it. That's my next goal, to work with that. I haven't
Be
read it in the
interested
past week or two.
to see what you think about comparing the two.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they're both the same scale. One is more detailed, really. Uh, whether or not that makes the game better, more appealing, is yet to be seen, because I have to try it out. I'm definitely interested in doing that. Because I like detail.
If you do a game of Points Battles, I'd like to jump in on that.
All right.
Sure. I played first edition, so
You got some idea.
different.
Any recommendations for the video presentation of it all? Better lighting, obviously. That's one.
I think just going back to the discussion we had after the first game about some easier way of determining the nationality of the bases, and just thinking about it, maybe we're talking about the idea of putting a coloured token under the unit so that it just showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's either that or you could paint around the base's edge. Like a
Then,
blue line.
but just going back to that idea of like putting the coloured counter under the unit, if you could use like a rectangle for infantry, a circle for cavalry, and a triangle for artillery or something, and that would at least help differentiate between what sides and what type of unit it is, because that's still not very clear from the videos. It's still not easy to tell cavalry and infantry apart.
Yeah, I mean guns are pretty easy, but like I said later, some cavalry units were surprised because I didn't look at it too much. It was hard to say what's infantry or cavalry, so. And at least the yellow sticks really help differentiate the both sides, so you can really see the front line. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. See what I can come up with.
You said following it along and it all being described and stuff, then it makes it pretty straightforward. You can follow it, but like I'm jumping in with my random bits of useful advice.
I love it. I can always tell when you're going to say something because you got it muted, and I hear you click it when it goes unmuted. So I be quiet. Uh-oh, he's going to say something. Here we go. Hang on, folks.
Yeah.
I love it.
The voice from the eaves.
Here he comes. Now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Good stuff. Definitely do this again. I got ideas in my head. That was a great battle.
Good, I enjoyed it.
It lasted a couple.
Very exciting.
10 hours it lasted, at least.
Huh?
I think this battle lasted at least 10 hours in total.
Yeah, it's quite a while. Well, you got to take into account a lot of things. Yeah, it did last quite a while. I don't think that's normal, but it probably has a lot to do with me talking through things and trying to teach the game at the same time and being sure everything's followed. And
yeah, sometimes
like you don't even have the rulebook. You never read the rules. You have no clue.
I never did.
So I think that adds a lot to the length of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to analyze. What makes some games like we sometimes play 1,000 points of Warhammer games, and sometimes they last as long as a 2,000 point games can last. 3 hours for a freaking small game.
But at the same time, that's good for the video and for people wanting to learn how to play the game, because it is having to be explained to some of the players rather than just Curtis playing through the game assuming everybody knows all the rules.
Yeah, I mean this is less of a battle report and more of a hangout type of thing. So it's more of a learning experience than a straight up look at the battle thing.
Well, it's showing people how the game runs, how it's played, and it's also teaching them as well. Because I don't know the rule book, but I've picked up stuff as we've gone.
The other great thing is with you guys, giving me tips and all. It's also giving me tips and strategies for the players watching the game.
This is one of the few games I actually don't get tired of. I might take a break, but I get this urge to play it again. Not many games are like that for me.
Well, you spent how many hundreds of hours painting the miniatures for it? I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's true. That was a long, hard-ass time.
The past 2 days have been the first days in about 2 weeks that I've gotten up before 3 p.m. at least. I was motivating. I think the first day I was up before you were. Harassing you on Facebook. Yeah, I'm ready for the game now. Let's play.
all the cameras showing? I got 3 cameras. Are they all showing?
There's just 2 of them.
Oh. Let me see here. I see 1 and my camera. Where's the other camera? Yeah, it must have shut off. Yeah, it did. One of the cameras died. I didn't even know it. Cell phone. That's fine. I guess the one camera, my cell phone, died somewhere during the game. The battery died. I had it plugged into the laptop as well, so it shouldn't have happened.
Phones are doing funny things today. Mine died. I think it was halfway charged and there was nothing active, and it died during the night because, well, I didn't wake up for a reason.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Vince. We were all set up and ready to go, waiting for you. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Vince.
Yeah, it was
First
pretty.
real battle, really.
I'm a big fan of battles that, overall, that's desperate fights for something, and at the end I was just, doing anything. I was just desperate to hold on and all. It was really fun.
Sure.
Well, a lot of the historical battles against the French with the Russians were like that, it seems, as well. A stoic reputation.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about it, the Russians, if it wasn't for my general, my army would have fled at least 10 turns before that. I spent a while with 8 or 9 losses. Kurosov really helped the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that made a big difference. Just put your break point up from, I think it was 7.
Yeah, up to 10.
Pretty big leap. I played solo the other night. I think it was a week or 2 ago, and basically these same armies on a much bigger table, a 6x4, and Kutuzov won the battle for the Russians. It all had to do with him. Broke the French before the Russians could be broken. Didn't go the full distance.
He was an old fox, that's for sure.
Definitely enjoy that.
So basically the rules for, what is it? It's called army morale. Is it basically when you lose 33%, 1/3 of your army completely routed your whole army routes, is it?
Well, your army gives up the fight. They don't necessarily rout, but they pull from the field. They withdraw.
And some units don't count towards that. Is that right?
Well, when you're calculating your break point, you don't count artillery units. So the number of units of cavalry and infantry, 1/3 of that equals your break point. However, during the battle, all units count if they rout, including artillery.
I'm gonna have to steal that system and implement it in 40K. Gonna try that out.
Wonder how your friends like that.
Yeah, well, I always not hate it, but I always find it funny that armies, can dish it out towards the last man. It's almost never the case,
Again, it's one of the things I like about the battle group rules is the morale counters and the
Yeah, you never know.
tallies and things. Your army you can take relatively few losses, but your army breaks, or you can take horrendous losses and your guys just keep going.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, every time I hear about battle group, I just want them to play it more. Sounds really awesome. Even in Flames of War, I think the morale isn't brutal enough, since you have to always lose at least half of your platoon, and it doesn't happen as much. And especially because in 40K the rules are gonna be more complex. Like some units just don't count at all towards the morale of the army, and some armies have better morale. And I mean, like armies like the Sisterhood, they usually when they don't retreat, well, they retreat but towards the enemy, and not the other way. So it creates all these different effects. And well, how does the battle group system work to be able to make such a large unit army with small casualties flee?
Basically, when you build your army, each unit gives you what they call a battle rating, a